Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like the audio never dropped. The image would just freeze every once in a while, so we could have kept it going.
Yeah.
We dropping shit?
No, we're good.
Cool. Drop. BMFcast works like magic.
No sick drops here tonight,
okay.
Everybody.
Drop. Yes. Drop.
I get it. That's a Beastie Boys.
It is.
I'm with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Known to let the beat
Drop. Drop. Drop.
Oh yeah, I never played that video for you. Remind me, or I might just send you a link or something. Watch it on your own time.
What?
The Tribe Called Quest for Weatherman.
Oh yeah, Weatherman.
Weatherman.
ATCQ Weatherman.
Someone's hacked in.
Oh.
Somebody hacking the Gibson already?
Yep,
What?
that one. That Gibson. It's getting hacked.
Oh, shit.
We have Gibsons?
Mm-hmm. This Gibson.
The Gibson.
But it's a Behringer.
What?
Bear Gibson.
Oh, Bear Grylls?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's drinking its own piss. That's
Oh,
the hack.
no.
Oh, no.
The podcast.
That's what the tube is on the tube. Ultragate.
Oh,
Ultragate all the
Ew.
urine into your mouth.
Ew.
gross.
What? I don't know. I don't know how you.
Good job,
I don't know
Chuck.
how this works.
What?
Brains no work. You watch Dangerous Men. Now make talk, I guess.
Yeah, that.
Uh-huh.
That's what you posted on Twitter?
Yeah.
All right, I'm copying that for Facebook.
Okay. Finally.
The Rock has come back.
You guys have been duplicating all your efforts.
Whoa.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh, we got to talk about how he enters the room.
No. That was actually us.
Oh,
For
Oh, that
real,
was
like-
actually
like
us.
legit, like now us, or
Oh.
a few seconds ago.
Oh.
legitus.
Yeah, legitus.
Legitus.
Man, I love that Star Trek episode.
Legitis.
Oh, that's right.
I had a case of that once. Got to get a shot. Get the legitis.
This Monday thing is killing me. Wait, that must be from some other time. I don't know.
What?
It's because it's Wednesday. We're on normal day now, right?
Yeah, that's old.
We are.
I'm just making
Someone
sure.
left the wrong. No, that. Hey, Kyle. It's not
Kyle.
Monday. Hi, Kyle.
Every time.
Hey, Kyle. No, Kyle. No.
Okay.
Fine.
Congrats on making it on time, Kyle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle.
like totally on time. Like
yeah, like just refreshing the page over and over again.
Kyle usually shows up like as we're being like, contact information.
right.
Oh, I missed it.
I missed.
It's like,
No.
the thing.
Kyle,
Jesus, Kyle.
Yeah.
we always start around 9:30 Eastern time, buddy. But look where we are this week. It's only 9.
9. It's because the movie was short.
It was a short movie.
Was it?
80 minutes.
Was it?
In
And he even stopped it early.
in real time, it's 80 minutes.
Yeah.
In
In watching it time,
It's fucking forever.
time is a flat circle. And
Well,
Time is the fire in which we burn.
that's a Star Trek reference.
is it
It was.
just like litigious?
Yeah. Terrence Stamp said that.
Oh, he did?
Terrence Trent Stamp.
Yes. Terrence Stamp.
I remember
Starby.
Terrence
Yeah.
Stamp.
Pave Paradise.
Terrence Stamp.
Parking lot.
Dude was awesome in Clockwork Orange.
Yes.
It's pretty good as War Machine, too. Oh, my brain hurts so much. I can't make words right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your cup says heat. My cup says
Your cup says
Go.
heat. My cup knows what's right.
My cup says
I got-
go.
Heat.
Hate.
Heat cup.
Canines.
Oh, you got canine?
Got dogs.
Dog.
Look at that dog.
Dogs.
Dogs.
I got go.
Go.
G-O.
G-O, go.
Go. As in go.
Precisely, Chuck.
Right.
Right.
It's
Good job.
So much like that.
More like go. Am I right? Man, 36 on Metacritic. That's pretty high. It's okay. We'll carry it.
We'll make your way.
You can just sit there and cry. We'll get you through this.
Well, I just...
We'll be like Chris Hardwick at the end of The Walking Dead. We're here for you. We will get you through to the end.
I just don't even know. Because I mean, this makes me angry at everything and everybody, and I don't know who to be mean to, but I want to be mean to somebody, and I'm tempted to just be quiet. You know, the whole if you got nothing good to say nothing at all.
That doesn't make for good podcast.
It doesn't.
It's a bad podcast.
It doesn't.
Our
But
job is to say something when
We
we,
have
don't
to say
have anything
things.
good to say at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to say stuff.
well, if I get whatever, just rein me back in.
No, we're gonna let you fucking
Piss everybody off.
destroy this fucking movie.
Okay.
Bring the thunder.
It's going to be like we hate movies up in here.
You hate movies.
I now hate all
He
movies.
hate me movies.
The fact that this is a movie, it now makes me hate all movies.
Oh, now come on.
No,
Not all movies are bad.
there's no
Not all movies.
There's not all. There's no Eileen here. This movie makes me hate all movies. If this could exist and call itself a movie, ergo, all movies are bad.
Argo. That's a movie. It's
Yeah.
good.
This movie can argo fuck itself.
Clever. Clever.
1 star, we're in.
Man, you're using up all your show material.
Yeah, save it.
What? That was like they said that to each other in the movie all the time. Argo fuck yourself.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Did anyone actually ever watch that movie?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Nope. Never seen it.
It's a good motion picture.
I don't watch good movies.
It's a really good
I
movie.
only watch the shit for this show.
Well, here, give him the copy of that DVD.
What?
No, I'm keeping the digital copy, and the rest is going on
But
here.
you're going to keep the
The rest
digital
can go
copy?
in.
Of course, I'm
Can't
keeping the
touch it.
digital copy
Why?
because it doesn't add anything.
Oh.
You could sell it with digital copy intact, whether someone chooses to believe you or not.
I'm curious about how this works because it's not attached to any kind of service.
You just type those
No, I don't
letters
trust
in.
you with this.
Oh yeah, I'm going to redeem that fucking code.
Redeeming it is not what I'm worried about.
All right.
You tearing it into a
Then
million pieces. Like,
you
I
hold-
did you a favor, Chuck.
hold it in front of my face so I can look at it. Then I won't even touch it.
It goes to the draft house, so I'm wondering if it's
Okay.
just like an MP4 or
That's
something.
why I was curious.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, like when I googled it, it was like you can look at it on iTunes or
You can look at it. You want to look at television?
well, you can't fucking watch this movie. Don't even give me that shit.
You can't see it.
No. You can't fucking watch this.
Unwatchable.
Yeah. I don't know. I managed to watch it.
I did too.
I shut my eyes to hold my sanity in a couple times.
Well, he took a nap, so he couldn't.
I did.
He was awake.
Oh, I took a nap. Yeah, I took a power nap before.
Right.
No, I didn't fall asleep. I just shut my eyes in order to have the sanity keep from spilling out of my eyes any further.
Oh, well,
I
you
think
missed-
that's where it comes
You
from.
missed some good stuff.
No, I didn't.
I bet when you open your eyes, the same scene
Pretty
is
much,
continuing.
yeah. Generally speaking, yes. All right. How many people are here? Can we just get this?
Yeah, whatever. We're just waiting on you. You're the one with the rules.
I don't have.
Yeah.
There's no rules. I just wait for a couple people to show up, and
That's a rule.
This is not Nom, Smokey.
Yeah.
There are rules.
yeah. We can't defend the rules and make fun of the rules at the same time.
Ah, that's where you're wrong.
Yep.
Is he?
Probably. I did watch this movie tonight, so I'm in the wrong.
Is
Man.
he? Are you?
He is.
Are you?
Whatever. We're dropping viewers. I don't know.
Well,
We
us
might as well
sitting here and
just
sighing,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
probably
Yeah.
not good TV.
Nope.
start. All right. Let's just.
We need to make shocked
Some
faces.
people-
and-
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't want to have
Oh,
anybody showing
wait.
up to see dangerous
Are
men.
we old enough to like elders react to?
Oh, God.
Are we?
one more year.
You guys are.
You're the one that looks the oldest with your Star Trek beard over there.
Why is it a Star Trek beard?
Because he looks like an old prospector.
Crazy old man
Thank
is on
you.
Star Trek.
What? How do I look like an old prospector from Star Trek?
No, remember his start. It's like the oldest callback we have is his old
do it periodically.
his Star Trek fan voice sounds like an old prospect.
It was like, I don't like that kind of newfangled next generation. Deep Space Nine.
I apologize. I don't remember shit. Ever.
See, you're old like the rest of us.
No.
Elders react to
this is just-
Blu-rays. Come on, we all have to look at the camera and make a shocked face for the thumbnail.
No.
We have to. It's the only way people will watch our video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
God.
Yeah. I'm
Ugh.
just gonna
Wait, now we're not all doing it.
I'll composite them all together. It's okay. They're all photoshopped anyway.
Okay.
Woo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Do you even have a plot summary?
Nope.
There's not one on IMDb.
I don't give a shit.
I don't know
I've
how.
got one. I'll read it for you.
No, I see it there. I already have what's in my head. What's going to come out?
okay.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
He's
All
gonna-
right.
He's going to improv it.
It's just going to be minutes of screaming.
It's just going to be fuck this, and then he
Pretty much,
gets
yeah.
up and leaves the room.
Yeah.
Puts his cat in the chair.
Yeah, pretty much. Wow, it's like you can see into the future.
yeah.
Man.
You're like a
I think
prognosticator.
we have 4 of us to give opinions.
You're a prognosticator.
I am a prognosticator.
Man.
A lady of the night, if you will.
Yeah. Did you go to law school?
Oh, I
for
want to
that?
be a lady of the night. Tell me,
I'm sorry, a girl of the night.
tell me how to be a girl of the night.
Oh, let's light this fucking
All right.
candle and get this
All right,
train wreck over
let's
with.
get some pictures and things up here. So we go.
Blow.
And all
Zing.
so
Stop it, you can't do that.
no. I gave my noises. It was and
Can I get some wizard lightning in post?
no, but you can get some wizard sleeves.
I'd rather have
Oh,
wizards.
yeah.
I think there were some wizard sleeves in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
At least 2.
Yeah. All right, let's do a podcast. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 322.
Ooh.
That's woo. Yeah.
320.
Numbers. It's incremental to the last one. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go ahead and we watch ourselves a bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Yay! Robot jocks! Hooray!
Hey.
Posters on the wall.
Yeah. But, they can be bad movies and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and douchebags after Twilight.
Ah,
Yeah.
Boo.
that's not a
Grody.
good movie.
Yeah.
Grody?
So, you guys heard of this thing called the internet?
I have.
Yeah, it's a
Go
terrible
on.
place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's that thing where you harass women,
Right.
right? Isn't that what the internet does?
It is. Well, we watched the film version of that. I mean, something that we heard about on the internet.
Okay.
No, we watched the Draft House Films, whatever thing they found of Dangerous Men. It's in the zeitgeist.
Brand new Blu-ray release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dangerous Men
Just out last week
Yeah.
on Blu-ray.
Hot release.
on the highest definition home video format possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blu-ray.
Yeah. Well, no, there are some of those Ultra or whatever
Okay,
4K
there-
things.
Yeah.
It's the second highest
Yes.
home cinema
Right. Yeah.
format.
Is among the most pristine experiences you can have
Right.
Yes.
on a disc.
Close to the pinnacle.
So, I think plot summary is how we usually start these things.
Good luck.
So, yes.
So the plot summary for this, fuck it. I don't know. That's it. Fuck it.
Well then,
All right.
No, I mean,
we know where your rating's going to be.
no, I mean, I think that's the plot
made it
summary.
clear.
No, that's the plot summary. That really is the plot summary. Somebody said fuck it and put it on film.
It almost seems like it makes more sense to say that this guy made this movie from somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s through to the mid 90s and finally was able to release it in 2005.
Yes.
If that gives you an idea
Yes.
of how jumbled together it ends up being.
But I choose these words carefully because, I mean, it's the give up attitude of this movie. Well, not give up, when you should have given up attitude of this movie, and also the plot of the movie. Because if there's a woman on screen, everyone's directive is to fuck it. So these are the words that I choose for this reason, because that's
Yes.
the plot of the movie.
I guess we should establish that as well, that there exist 2 types of men in this world, both dangerous.
Right.
Cops
Oh, I get it now.
or rapists.
Yeah.
There are no other men that exist in this universe.
Correct.
Yeah. This movie is in the Deathstalker universe.
Yes. You are either a man who is upholding the law
Uh-huh.
or a man who is about to rape a woman.
Right.
Yes.
And those are the only. Never the two shall meet.
There was one bartender we don't know whose side he was on.
He might have been a rapist. Look at that haircut.
Could have been, but he was on the other side of the bar.
He did help a cop.
He did. But the cop was paying him
So
a
that-
lot of money.
He was. A lot of money.
$100 a beer.
The fiance, though, was not a rapist, right?
Correct.
He was also not a cop.
No.
No,
Okay.
I think he was.
The
a cop.
universe kind of
I
swelled.
think he was a cop too.
I don't think he was a cop. His brother was a
brother
cop.
was a
His
cop.
future brother was a cop.
Okay, I don't know.
The brother from the future who only interacted with him on the phone from 1995.
Sure.
Oh, that's right.
He was a cop. His brother in 1982, not a cop.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But aside from those exceptions, the only people in this world are rapists and cops.
Yes.
Yes. All dangerous.
Yes. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
It's also safe to say that we see a lot of poorly made movies.
we do. Yes.
We enjoy some of them. We don't enjoy all of them.
Uh-huh.
And every time we're like, man, I can't imagine a movie being more poorly made than like Vampire Cop. We watch that, we go, God, how could anyone make a movie more poorly than Vampire Cop?
Well, we seem to keep finding them.
Yeah.
And then
Well, we
something
didn't have
like
to find this
Dangerous
one.
Men falls in our lap.
It does.
Draft House found this one for us. Thanks, Draft House.
Yeah. This one didn't take research. This one.
And there becomes debate in our heads like, is this the worst made movie we've seen? And even
All the
if
way
the
through?
answer
Do you
isn't,
wanna-
even if the answer isn't yes, it's definitely up there. It's in the conversation easily.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I don't know. I think we should all answer that question right now.
Okay.
I think we should answer if it's the worst made movie we've seen.
All the way through?
Thinking about like
I say no.
you say no.
I say
I
no
say
only
no.
because you weren't here when we attempted to watch Dumpster Baby. That's the only reason.
You're right. I haven't seen Dumpster Baby.
Because, like, all right, early on in this movie, I guess we should eventually start talking about the actual movie.
Maybe.
But, I mean, early on, there is a scene where it's obvious that they had a video camera, probably from the 1980s, with the mic on the video camera, shooting two people sitting at a table having a conversation.
In a restaurant.
In a restaurant. And then just proceeded to mute it when they weren't actually talking, so that every time it talked, it was just, hey, how are you doing?
Yep.
But Dumpster Baby was that the entire time.
Yes.
Like, no muting.
So no one had the foresight
Right.
to
No
mute.
one bothered to
It was
mic
just
anyone.
It was just, on camera mic with open wind noise and everything. So I'm saying,
Yes.
in a way, that was probably a worse made movie.
I will say this.
But that was also probably made in about a week and a half.
yeah. Not
26
a decade
years.
and a half.
Right.
But I will say this. I believe this is the worst edited movie we've seen.
Right.
Because it's something that has it dawned on me while watching this, like a shared characteristic of these movies that become like this, that are just like midnight classics, is they just don't know when to end a scene and let a scene go on uncomfortably long.
Oh, this movie is
Or
the
they
new
cut
king
scenes
of
way
that.
too short. Or they
Yeah.
just like
Or-
chop,
yeah,
no
and then-
transitions. They just
Yep,
chop into
and
the
then
next
they
scene.
just randomly end.
So I would agree with you there that it's the most poorly edited thing we've seen. What I feel like is this guy like recorded an act of this film in 1976 or whatever, or recorded a bunch of random scenes and then edited the first part of this movie, or it feels like a project that you keep going back to and you forget where you left off. But instead of reviewing the previous stuff, you just kind of push forward and be like, all right, well, I'm sure where I left was fine. We'll just trudge on. We'll just march on and you end up with a fucking Weasley family house, that has no thought to flow or
Yeah.
pacing or anything.
Yeah, it feels like they did the first 45 minutes and then couldn't get any of those people back, so they made the second 45 minutes. And
Sounds about right.
And like the actress, they wasn't available, so her storyline ends halfway through the movie because they couldn't get her to come back to
Or
do the
she
rest
was
of it.
20 years older.
Yeah,
Something, whatever.
Possibly dead.
yeah,
Any number of things.
yeah. But
All right, so
with that stuff out of the way.
yeah, that's a preamble to how we're going to wrap up this talk. But just to talk about the movie itself, like what is actually going on in it, if you can decipher it, basically starts out by telling the story of a young couple in love.
It starts out with the credits.
Well, yes.
Yeah, let's not forget the
The
credits.
credits are a film by John S. Rad.
Right.
Produced by John S. Rad.
Yes.
Original soundtrack and songs by John S. Rad.
Yeah.
Edited by John S. Rad. Executive produced by John S. Rad. Directed by John S. Rad.
Yes.
Those are your credits.
Yeah.
I think
None
there
of
was
the actors
I think
are
there was
credited.
a writing credit in there for him. too.
Created and written by.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Created.
But
The Dangerous
But-
Men
but that's it.
multiverse.
There is a credit sequence with one name. One name.
John S. Rad,
John
which
S. Rad.
isn't even the guy's real name.
No.
No, but it does thankfully put that parenthetically under his name the first time it appears. So, but it's in such a font that you can't see it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
after that
So-
sequence, which is pretty awesome because the best part of this movie happens in the opening credits because the word dangerous and the word men collide and there's some fireworks that go off
On
in the
top
middle of it.
a scene of waves crashing on a beach.
And it's in the
It's in
the Fast and Furious cinematic universe.
Yes.
Yeah, same
Right.
typeface.
Font and Furious
Yeah.
is what I like to call that.
So the opening parts of this movie is kind of in theory about this young couple who really like each other. They are making out at the beach and they are talking to someone's dad about getting the blessing to get engaged.
Yes.
Eventually I think it's revealed that it's her dad,
Yes.
but that
Her dad, who looks 4 years older than her.
yeah.
Yes.
Then they're in that scene in Vegas where they're eating in a restaurant and you only hear them when one of them speaks because the crowd noise is too loud.
Yeah, and it's also like just the most generic. Oh, you're a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I want to spend my life with you. But it's got that weird like Google Translate thing going on where it's like they said it in one language and translated it to Japanese,
Yes,
and
and
then
then-
translated it back and
Right.
said whatever came up on the screen. Where it's like not quite right.
Or were they riding in their sweet Jeep or very early on? Well, I mean, it's about to get to where things actually start to happen in this movie. But one of the first examples of the fantastic dialogue, is they're riding along, and she goes, "Look how beautiful that beach over there is," and he goes, "It is beautiful, but not the most beautiful thing I can see."
Do you want to know what that is? Do you think you have an idea of what might be the most beautiful
You can
thing?
never guess what the most beautiful thing is.
That is right. I can never make a guess as to what the answer to your question might be.
It's
It is
you.
you.
It is I. Huzzah! Thank my lucky, scintillating heavenly bodies that I am with you, a person who is sitting next to me.
Yep.
I need you to send only $10,000. This money can be yours.
Yeah. It is
I
kind of like
accidentally-
one of those emails, the entire thing.
I have accidentally made transaction of a greater currency than was intended. Please remit the remaining sum of denomination back to me.
That beach is all natural and side effect free. Yeah.
Yeah. But they go to that beach.
Yeah, they go to that beach and they sit on a rock and look at the waves for a while. Meanwhile, a couple bikers pull up
Yes.
who are like just fat old dudes.
They're just gross biker men. Dangerous, in fact.
Yeah.
And they roll up and they're like, hey, look at those two down there.
Yeah,
huh?
they're like, oh, we're about to have some fun.
We are going to have biker fun. And then
to which they go and they just kind of sit on the beach and wait for them to leave the rock.
they cut to them and they're just like chilling, just like, and then the one guy's like, hey, you're right. They do have to walk by us to get off the beach.
Yeah.
When
He's
you're
like,
right, you're right.
I told you it would work. And so they come down and they just start catcalling her and they're like, hey, baby, how
Yeah.
about you ditch that man and get with a real man like me?
And that man gets very upset real fast.
Oh, yeah, her boyfriend's just like,
You leave us alone!
yeah, he's like, why don't you just get out of here? Loud noises!
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, get off the beach, you jerks, and go back to your homes.
And the thing is, the whole time they're just like walking at this casual pace.
Yeah.
They're like, huh, okay. It's not like, this is a dangerous situation. These are dangerous men.
They are.
There's none of that.
Yeah. But it's gross, but not menacing menace. It's just kind of like, hey, it's like construction worker menace. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but
fries
they're
with that
still
shake,
like
lady.
getting
Sure.
intimidating and
Yeah.
getting up on top of them.
But they're just
and then
like-
he's like, why don't you guys just get out of here before I break your necks?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, tough guy. Well, maybe we will.
Yeah, see you later,
So they hang
guys.
back, and the two of them, they don't like hurry to the car. They just kind of leisurely.
He actually says there's no point in running at this point.
Yeah.
Because she's like, why are we not hurrying? And he's like, there's no point in running.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because basically nothing in this movie does anybody act like... Because we skipped an entire scene of action, I've just realized. Because, we're going to do this a lot because this movie makes no fucking sense in the way it's edited. But there's a convenience store robbery.
Oh, the cop brother.
Oh, God, I forgot about the cop brother.
Yeah. I'm just, like, we can continue this scene, but this just continues the, like, trend of people not reacting in any way, shape, or form like a human would. Because... There's this brief out of nowhere because like we've been watching this scene of them, getting together, and then suddenly there's a robbery at a liquor store
in the future.
Yeah.
And cop brother runs in and first like a lady is stalking around behind all this, kind of like seeing the robbery happen, and then she jumps out and says like, "Why are you robbing my store? Get the fuck out!" And then tries to poorly karate them and gets shot in the chest for her trouble. And
That's how it would really go if you tried to karate your way out of a convenience store robbery.
But that dude had an Uzi.
But the guy behind the counter is just like, huh.
Yeah. He's
Like,
nonplussed. by the
holds
whole
his
thing.
hands up, no reaction to anything
Right.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even when the cop shoots the dude in front of him.
He's like, put your hands down, guy.
He's in shock.
He is. He's in shock.
That he's in this movie.
Right.
But I think we skipped that scene because it means nothing.
It means nothing. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's
Yeah.
the first of, like, okay, now this is a movie where people will not react to anything like a human would.
It establishes that he has a cop brother.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I would
Although
like.
I thought it was the same guy.
yeah,
I
do
thought
too.
so did I.
do
because
too,
they
because-
look remarkably the same.
Yeah.
because they rarely say character names, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
like
it's-
in the credits, the fiance that we're about to be talking about with the girlfriend, his credit is fiance.
Yeah.
He does not have a name.
Yeah.
Ex-fiance.
Yeah, because the way they edit, like them on the beach making out to the brother kind of slinking around this convenience store, it's cut to where it looks like it's the same guy waiting for something.
Oh,
Yes.
Because
and then he just rolls into action. And,
the other, like, doesn't mean anything is our opening scene. We see, I think it's Cop Brother, comes in and has sex with a lady.
That's right.
has to be because that lady was not the lady.
No, that lady never shows up again.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's a scene where he shows up, like, you're watching the back of his head the entire time, then he kind of sneaks up on this lady, and she's like, oh, it's you.
Oh, it's
and
you.
Then, and, like, they kind of have the sex, and it's like, it lingers on the shot, where it's really still not sure who it is for too long, and it cuts back. I mean, it's just cutting back and forth between these two guys that look kind of similar. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
three to be mean. They just...
No, they do.
They do.
both
They
have, like,
they're
they have very
brothers.
similar...
We all were thinking the same
They have
thing.
very similar hair. They both kind of have like a mildly ethnic look to them. Like I
Yeah.
can't tell if it's like Middle Eastern, like the director guy, or Hispanic or something. But like one guy's got bushy eyebrows. That's about the only way you can tell. Is like future cop brother has like more bushy eyebrows than the younger one.
Yeah.
The other one has bushier hair.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
But yeah,
BJ and I were basically describing everyone in this movie as the various stages of Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Like
they
everyone
probably
just
are, yeah.
has that. It's like the young slicky boy Eric Bischoff, or then here's the biker
Cocky
Eric Bischoff.
Planet Hollywood jacket Eric Bischoff.
Yeah,
It's-
so-
they're all cocky Eric Bischoff.
Just
really.
picture that that guy, and that's every male character in this movie.
Just watch or look at Eric Bischoff from like 15 random episodes of Nitro, and that's Eric.
It's every character in this
every
movie.
character in this movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not old man Eric Bischoff.
no.
I would like to quickly interject with a little gem from the Wikipedia for Dangerous Men. The
Oh,
film.
good. Please do. We need some wisdom.
The plot of Dangerous Men is somewhat unclear and changes abruptly towards the middle of the film.
That's fair.
I like
That
that
is-
level of professionalism out of
That's-
Wikipedia.
that is-
that is a
editors these days.
horrifying understatement.
Is there a citation needed after that?
much
Oh,
much
nope.
nicer way of saying fuck it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah,
that
But
should have
so
been the plot
anyway,
summary.
Right. Anyway, menacing on the beach.
Anyway, yes, they're being menaced on the beach. The bikers stand back, and the one bald biker goes, "All right, you distract him and I'll grab her.
you
and
beat the shit out of
You
him.
take care of him, I'll grab her, and then we can switch off.
And we can switch off, and then they're like high five.
Yeah, the other guy's like, yeah, sloppy seconds, yes.
Can't wait.
So yeah, they come up and and of course, and this is when the guy's like, it's no point running, and she's like, no, we probably should, and then no, the one scuzzy guy starts hitting him, and they get in a fist fight while big bald dude just picks her up and starts carrying her to the other side of the beach.
Picks her up like a cave woman.
Yeah.
And just carries her off while she's doing the just like, no, put me down. Mm-hmm. And then he like tries to make out with her, which I've never understood why anyone thinks that's going to work. It's just all of a sudden lady's going to go, oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
While the other one and the while the fiance and the other biker get in a fight, poorly edited fight, poorly performed fight, which eventually leads to the fiance strangling the one dude on the beach, and bald guy going, crap.
Yeah.
Guess I got to take care of that.
Yeah. You wait here. He tells her to wait there.
Yeah.
And he goes over, and he goes into his boot, which is the boot goes up to like his knee, and he's got like even higher knee socks on under that, and just somehow in there finds a knife.
Yeah. And immediately,
If you're a biker, you carry a knife in there.
But this is unwieldy. I mean, that knife is rolling around in there. It's not secure.
No.
But so he just goes over to the fiance and is just like, jab.
Yeah. And stabs him a couple times in the gut, to which the fiance gets, it's such a good death stagger, because he gets a few weird steps, and then he kind of like collapses over to the side, and he does the couple twitches.
Oh, he does a real,
before
just like
he
a full
dies.
body, like, like his life violently left his body at that moment. Just
It's
like,
so
I'm
good.
almost
He's like,
dead. And I'm done.
I thought there was going to be like a fight or something and the knife struggle. No.
No.
He just walks over and just fucking prison shanks him 3 or 4 times. Just even with sound effects, the like shick shick shick.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So,
the girl comes over and starts crying over him, going, "Oh my god!" And meanwhile, bald biker dude goes, "You asshole! You killed my best friend!" To this dead body.
Yeah.
To which she's just sitting there crying over the body.
but she pulls herself together real quick, because after about 30 seconds, she's like, hey, big boy, come over here and finish what you started.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds after her
She
fiance
goes,
has been stabbed to
Yeah,
death.
and she goes, "Yeah, I'm finally free.
Yeah, thank you.
I can hook up with you now.
Let's get out of here and have the sex right now."
To which all of us are stunned,
Well, because
like
it's-
we can't even.
Yeah, because she just became the species woman, where it's just like emotion, click, that's gone. Now I
Well,
must murder you.
Yeah. Which
And it's also like this movie has established that like it doesn't understand how humans work already.
Right.
Another very similar trait to some of the best so bad it's good
You
movies.
mean the fact that we don't constantly rape people?
yeah,
Sure,
just
there's
like
that.
this whole
Chief among it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like in the universe that has already been established in this 10 minutes, we've gone, is she acting? Is she like, is this actually how she's behaving now? Mm-hmm. We don't understand, because they go through a whole sequence of them checking into a motel and having dinner together.
They were instantly presented with food.
Yeah.
When they go to that restaurant. Oh, here's your seats and here's your food.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy what we've selected for you.
And we're just like, the whole time our jaws are just open going, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so they get up to their shitty motel room, and she goes, "All right, well, I'm going to take a shower, and when I get back, we are going to have the sexy time."
Right. You get yourself ready. Which is just the best sentence to say to someone. Get yourself ready, which for Biker Man means just stripping down to his fucking tidy whitey bullshit.
And also
underwear.
licking the knife that he stabbed the fiance with.
That's the okay. Look,
well, it's got blood on. He hasn't bothered to clean it off yet.
No.
One.
Look, there's some
And
weird fucking behavior in this movie, but for him to have murdered a man on the beach with his knife, had a nice meal with that man's lady, got in a hotel room, stripped down to his underwear, sit down on the bed, and then think, I need to lick this knife clean.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest bit of behavior in this whole fucking movie.
Is it? Because you said nice meal, which was a sit-down diner that's attached to a motel where they just bring you food.
In comparison to licking a fucking bloody knife, yes, it was a nice meal.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with I know where the source of that blood is from. I'm not saying it's sanitary, but I'm going to use the toilet wine defense here. I know where that blood came from. Some lady just brings me random food that's pre-prepared. Fuck you.
Well, agreed to
I mean, unless it's
disagree.
my mother.
I'm going to choose the restaurant food
I'm
over licking
if
a
I sit
dead
down in a
man's
restaurant
blood
and
off a
somebody
knife.
walks up with a plate, unless it's one of those like family home style things where they have everyone eats the same thing.
The chance of getting hepatitis from one is way higher than the other.
Yeah.
There's still a chance.
Yeah,
But the scales are not exactly even there.
right.
I think it's just a suspect to eat random food.
I live in America, and
Yeah.
and I get a choice, so I'm going to choose neither. I'm going to be like, excuse me, I would like to choose the food that I have, and then also look at this bloody ass knife. I should rinse it off in the sink, perhaps,
Before licking it.
and not lick it at
also-
all. Not lick it at
And
all.
also, this is like pre-sex.
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
this isn't like, oh man, that was like this
That
is
was
like
great sex.
this is
Time to
like
clean my knife.
she's in the shower. She's going to come out and have sex with me.
Well,
Right.
technically, if
So
there
let
was
me get my mouth all
Yeah,
bloody
let's-
first.
if there was a blood communicable disease, he was going to get it from her anyway. So you know what? I'm not trying to justify his behavior.
This movie
but
does cut a lot of corners, so
Yeah.
maybe that was the thing, the thought process there.
Yeah,
But so when they were at dinner, she does a thing where she has cut up all her food into bite-sized chunks and then just basically baps her plate like an idiot to where it all goes in her lap, which is for her to get to hide the knife. She's gotten the
Okay.
the dining
Yes.
knife to bring back with her. So she comes out in a towel and he's on the bed in his underwear after having licked the knife clean, and she's like, "Okay, here's what's going to happen. You're gonna lick my knees.
Fondle,
no,
You're gonna fondle my
You're
knees.
gonna rub my knees.
Yeah. Then you're gonna lick my belly button,
Gently.
and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, in that order, and you have to do that. Do you understand me?" And he's like, "Whatever, lady. Yeah, let's go." Because she immediately takes her towel off, and he's just like, "Gah." I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Which, really, guy, you should not believe it's happening.
Yep. And so they show her face looking just kind of stone faced while this guy's slurping away.
She's looking
her
at us
belly
like,
button.
"Can you believe this guy?"
Yeah. Cut to the camera showing behind her. She has hidden the knife between her butt cheeks.
Yep.
And she slowly reaches back, pulls that knife out,
Yeah.
and
Fucking
proceeds
hilarious visual, by the way.
to stab him to death.
Yes. Yes, she does.
Also a hilarious visual.
Right.
Yeah.
And then afterwards,
Afterward, then she has her monologue to his dead body.
right.
Says, "Did you really think that I was going to sleep with you after you ruined my life, you son of a bitch?"
You learned your lesson, didn't you?
Yeah.
You'll never do that again. Taught you.
Yep.
And then she's like, "Bye, see ya."
So, gotta go.
Yeah. So she starts just walking down the road, and like the hotel help has been sent to the room because they ordered a 5 a.m. wake up call because the biker wanted to get back on the road early.
That biker's a go-getter. Or at least he was, until he
Yeah,
got murdered
until
by
he
the woman whose fiance he had just
Oh,
murdered.
he had a busy day. Next day, you know, sit on the beach, rape, sit on the beach, sit on the beach, murder.
The hotel clerk was so determined to make sure that they got up at 5
Oh,
o'clock.
yeah.
He's calling and calling and calling, and then he finally calls the girl over. Is like, "Would you go wake up room 110? They have to have their 5 a.m. wake up call. Go."
I'm not responsible for that man being late for work.
Right. So
Well, and then the housekeeper later or whatever actually almost has a human reaction.
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
she's kind of just like, well, it's kind of more like,
I gotta clean this up.
shit.
Damn it. Yeah.
I mean, it was like shock mixed with, fuck.
Right.
All right.
So lady just starts walking the earth, basically.
Yeah.
She's walking the earth and sitting on rocks, and then all of a sudden, pickup truck comes by. So she's like, "Hey, at this point in the film you could hitchhike. So
Yeah.
she gets
Back in the 1970s.
right. So
again.
she gets in the car and they go off. And
Yep.
You really couldn't though, because it.
well, no, this is why hitchhiking died. was
apparently-
because-
Yeah, you were going to get Zodiac Killer.
Well, apparently because like they had some sort of conversation, which we never. We just see pickup truck stop, her get in the truck, no conversation, no words,
and then she's napping.
and then she's apparently they have some conversation about she knows about his family life,
Right.
and I feel comfortable enough to take a nap. And then his outer monologue kicks in because
And never
Yes.
stops.
because he's just like, oh well, geez, I should just really take this opportunity. Let me grab my gun that I keep up in my,
he
my
says-
sun visor.
He's complaining about his life. He's like, I'm a henpecked husband. This is a gift from heaven to have a woman like this here in the car.
Let me get my gun.
I think a great idea is to rape her.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't specifically say those words, but yes, he's like, this.
That's
is
the
my
one
opportunity.
sentence he leaves out. But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when he gets the gun, you're like,
Everything else is,
yeah. But I'm saying, like, who keeps their gun in the overhead visor? I mean, come
You
on.
don't?
this
No.
guy does.
I keep like 4 up
Oh,
there.
okay.
This guy's life choices aren't the best.
All right.
And also,
He's henpecked.
and with her, what? Like, she's sleeping against him
Yeah.
in this giant truck with, like, another human worth of space against the window.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he was her shower, I guess, because I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's. Like I said, of all the things this movie doesn't show, it shows you all the things you don't want to see. Basically,
Yes.
It cuts away from anything that would actually like further the plot along, like the conversation where she might feel safe enough to fall asleep, next to this human.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, okay, we're on a deserted fucking road, but let me pull more off the
Let
deserted
me pull
road.
behind this
Yeah.
bush.
Oh wait, that's not deserted enough. Let me pull behind this bush. Oh wait, no, let me do a 3-point back end turn here.
Yeah.
like that asshole in the parking lot.
And squeal the brakes for like a good 10 seconds. Just like,
Yep.
anyone around is hearing that. So
Right.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, it's just like, he I don't know, he wakes her up with like gun in her face.
yeah.
It's just
And
like,
she wakes up screaming.
Yeah.
Because there's a gun in her face.
Right.
She's like, oh my God, what? And he's like,
you know what?
he's like, yeah, take off your clothes. She's like, oh, well, actually, I was waiting for this.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm into older men. But she just does the whole immediately like, sociopath heel turn thing where
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know, I will deal with the situation completely emotionlessly, like I planned for it. And yeah, she just like convinces him to strip down and is like scoot over to her side, and then. I don't know. I guess she still had the knife from
Yep.
stabbing the biker dude because whatever she
a good
produces
luck
it
knife.
from out of nowhere, maybe her butt cheek again. I don't
Probably.
know. But yeah, she grabs his kielbasa sausage because her butt cheeks were warm.
There it is.
But no, she grabs his dick and is like, I will cut off your dick if you don't drop this shit and get out of the car.
Yeah.
Essentially, but she just holds his dick there for a while with a knife to it, like a while.
through
a
his
while.
tidy whities,
Right.
at least.
yeah.
But
And it's one of those movies where they didn't have stunt dick. It's not like there was a tube sock in there. She's actually grabbed hold of him.
His face is showing enough terror that it very well may be.
There's
like, I don't
half
know
of
if she
his
just-
dialogue is, wait, no.
let's
Please
Calm
say
down,
cuts.
calm down.
No, don't say cuts.
no.
Yeah, so they go through a whole thing of just like, give me the gun, and then now open the door, get out.
And they go, no, don't cut my dick.
And then she's like, take off your drawers. And then he acts like this is the greatest indignity of all time. He's like, my under, what? And she's like, cocks the gun, is like, take off your drawers. And he's like, oh, fine.
And then she's just like, just run.
And then she's like, yeah, just take off running. And fires a shot at him, and she drives off. Mm-hmm. Should be the end of that character.
It should.
Really should.
It really should.
Because now
It
dude
really,
is naked,
really should.
truckless, out in the desert.
And outer monologue continues
Oh,
because
yeah.
he is going to
For
talk
like
to
15
himself.
minutes.
Well,
Jesus.
he finds like two sort of fan-shaped branches, like he's like some kind of fan dancer, out there.
Uhura from Star
Yeah.
Trek 5.
No, I said a fan dancer, not another worse thing ever put to film. But he just is walking through the desert talking about all this, about how is he going to explain this and all this, and then somewhere along the lines just gets desert madness and starts
He gets
prancing and
space dementia.
singing, but
He does.
still butt naked. And, from the back, he's just like prancing and skipping along, going, hee ha ha ha, woo. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when it starts, he says, well, I guess there's nothing left to do.
But dance.
But dance.
Butt dance.
Butt dance. I have a feeling that this was just like the end of the take, and he was just like, I'm just going to do this because we've been rolling on this forever.
I'm naked in the desert.
Yeah, so I'm just going to vamp.
They're paying me in cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
just what the fuck ever.
But no, that motherfucker dances for a while. And then you think, well, that's a good blow off to his scene. Haha, this movie's got a dumb sense of humor, whatever. But no, it just continues the plight of this man. And this is when I thought maybe the movie was going to be like this traveling, like, airborne illness of go from one person to another and follow their story. Because, man, it just keeps following this guy. He's hanging out in bushes and
he hangs out by a bush, and he's like kind of sort of hitchhiking, and this van pulls up.
And they throw like 3 pieces of trash at him,
and like throw a plastic bag, and he's like, yeah, put this on, loser, and then they drive off. I guess. I mean, we never see him drive off, but it's like now we're done with this guy. I think.
Yeah, but no joke. 10 minutes of this guy.
Yeah,
10 minutes of this guy.
While they cut to her every once in a while, outer monologuing behind the wheel, going, "I can't believe my life has become this.
Yeah,
What happened?"
Yeah.
Right. And trying to cry, but coming off more as laughing.
yeah,
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, essentially, what the movie is trying to do now is it becomes Death Wish with the lady.
Yeah, there's a whole genre of this movie
Right.
of the rape revenge thing.
Sure.
But they're not done instantaneously and then without any care or, they set up the facts.
Yeah, I mean, they even they basically Death Wish 1 through 4 montage or sort of. I mean, there's no rocket launchers and shit like that, but I'm saying like the grabbing the dick thing and everything. It's just like all right, like obviously you saw these fucking movies,
Yeah.
and you're trying to make this, but like.
She picks up a prostitute.
Yeah, she goes. When she's like finally home, and I mean, it's like she's like obviously having a think about this. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to.
Well, she's crying about her dad. Right. She goes to see her dad, who I think is a different actor at this point, who says, "Here, have your savings account," which is
Except he's like, "Here's your savings passport,
passbook."
Okay.
You used to get a thing that had
all right.
savings numbers in it.
All right.
So they do this, and so it establishes that she has money, and then I guess they establish that she uses that money to get a house, because then she's in a house when she goes and gets this hooker and brings her back to the house. And then there's like this comical bullshit of the hooker like, "Okay, lady, let's have sex with each other," and she's like, "What? No. What are you doing?" Yeah, and she's like, basically like, "Tell me all your biggest fears. Tell me about all the times you thought you were going to die."
And this lady plays it like a low-rent actress who's like suddenly realizes her entire life's mistakes, because like she's just like had this hard exterior of like, whatever, why not? I mean, if you want me to, whatever, sit on your face, just sit on my face. I don't know, whatever. But then she's like, tell me what are you afraid of every night? It's like pimps, drug dealers, like streets that you don't go down, and all of a sudden it's just like everywhere I go is danger. She's like, I could be killed at any moment.
You really cut to the core of me.
You've seen into my soul.
Yes.
Yeah. But and then it's just like,
because she's like, I want to be a girl of the night. I could do that. Mm-hmm. So tell me all the things that make you terrified.
She's like,
tell me the most dangerous parts of town. Where do I want to not go? And then cut to her like driving around, and like she drives by a restaurant where one dude is sitting outside, and the dude just to me is like, "Lady in a car, huh?" And she's like, "Come over here." And that begins the montage of shadow dancing murder.
Yeah. It's a murder montage.
It's just pick up dude, bring dude back to house, and then in a shadow you see her stab the dude to death.
Yep. Meanwhile, at some point we've been introduced to the police who are investigating
the murders that she's doing.
No, not yet. They're trying to find her.
Yeah, they're just looking for her.
Because of the brother's murder, while the cop from the beginning is like wants to be in on it, but the chief doesn't want him in on it.
Yeah.
But there's also
he's too close.
There's also the black police detective, which is the only thing we can call him because he has no name, as far as I know.
I thought he was the police chief, and then another guy became the police chief. Yeah,
but either way, just randomly in the middle of this, at some point, and I'm only mentioning this because the prostitute taking her top off for like 10 seconds reminded me of this. He has a girlfriend who calls and complains that he never comes by. And he goes, "Well, sorry, I got to work.
I am a cop,
Yeah, and I got to work. I'm a cop," and hangs up on her. And then they show her crying, and then they show his face looking at the camera going, "Huh." And then all of a sudden, he's in the room having sex with her for like 5 seconds while this chick's topless, and then he's back at his desk.
Yeah.
Like,
So it could have been in his head. I don't know.
It's like a 45-second span of this woman, and that's it for her. Never shows up again.
No.
But just like random nudity in the middle of this movie
Yep.
for no reason whatsoever. I don't even know if it was the same actor, to be totally
Yeah,
honest.
I honestly, I was going to say that. I think like the time that she was talking on the phone to the time she was crying on the bed was two different people. I mean, seriously, that's it. Like, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But randomly,
It was
in the middle
obviously
of
a
that-
different time because, like, she at least her hair was different. She was dressed different, and all kinds of other things.
Yeah. But this scene just happens in the middle
Sure.
of this other stuff going on, in the middle of the murder montage, in the middle of all that.
Well, because they're now doubling down on this whole like. I guess we got to see what's going on with this other story because they're about to fucking just drop hers. Because like,
Oh, yeah.
she talks to the hooker. It has a couple of those like shadow murder montage things, and then I think she meets up with one other dude where we actually like see her straight up kill the guy, and then it's like. We hit a point where like cops just kind of come out from nowhere and be like, "Lady, I'm a cop. Come with me. You're under arrest."
Yeah.
And then we
Well,
never see her again.
You're glossing over the scene where she kills the dude
Okay.
because she ends up she gets picked up. She has to hitchhike for some reason.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. She went out to the beach and she was remembering the good times of her fiance, and
she
she made
wrote
him
some shit on the beach.
Yeah.
And she picks up a shell, which reminds her of the hideous monstrosity she made.
Oh god, she made him the worst shell art in
Yeah.
the history of shell
But she put
art.
googly eyes on it, so it's okay.
Yeah, it kind of is.
She put googly eyes all over
But
the
she
fucking
gives it to me. He's like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, dude, you.
Yeah, and now she's just looking at a broken shell like,
Yeah.
this symbolizes my life.
It's
Ah.
the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Like a fucking, like
The
grocery
plastic
bag,
bag,
flying
yeah.
in the wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's great.
And she's also written the lyrics to the song that is being sung over the soundtrack. Because we really haven't mentioned the soundtrack yet.
No, we should.
The soundtrack is kind of like,
Well, it's incessant for one thing.
yeah, it's
I think it runs the
nonstop,
entire movie.
But it most of the time sounds like the background for like an arcade fighting game
Yep.
Yeah.
from the early 90s. That's like one of those beat 'em up like Ninja Turtles or something where
The main, like, the kind of groovy thing that keeps playing the whole time sounds like Toe Jam and Earl.
yes.
It sounds exactly like just the main, like, regular gameplay Toe Jam and Earl original Sega Genesis music. And it's constant. And it's on a loop, and it just doesn't.
And it doesn't match because when she kills the biker, it's like that jaunty
Yeah.
Toe Jam and Earl music.
Yes. And it's like, what? Why?
It defies comprehension.
It's plays so long, like it plays while she kills that biker, through when the clerk is like, my God, we've got to wake this people up, through the lady coming to the room and finding the body. Like the whole thing is like this jaunty, broad comedy bullshit when it's not. It's not supposed to be at all. It's the whole movie is inappropriately scored like that. The whole movie.
Yes.
And the music just violently smashes into the next track.
Yeah.
Like the music doesn't stop or fade out.
But
It just
there is one song with lyrics, which are the lyrics that she's written on the beach in the sand.
yes, which upsets her greatly to where she just runs off.
Yeah, she runs
She's like,
off
This
and-
is the terrible.
Oh, yeah,
thing."
that's right. She tries to start her car, and she goes, "Oh, what a terrible time to be out of gas."
At the beach where all those terrible things.
Yeah, at the
happened to
beach
me.
where I was almost raped and my fiance was murdered, and it set me on a path of murder.
Right. Oh well, I'll just hitchhike.
Yeah. So she hitchhikes, and of course, because a guy picks her up, and he's not a cop,
Nope.
so
Dangerous man.
Guess what he is?
He's
pulls off to the side, like off a cliffside.
Why
and
are
is
you
like,
going off road? And it completely changes like
Yeah.
zones of the country.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It goes from like beachside to
The Rocky Mountains.
the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And it's just like the dude's just like, look, you know the price for hitchhiking in this country. We got to do these things, and
And this is the one time where she's kind of like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, I do." And she's like, "Do you really? Are you 100% sure that you want to do
you
this?"
feel good about your choice here.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah. Raping rules, man. Why wouldn't I?
Yep.
I'm a man." Mm-hmm. So she goes, "Okay, bam,
Produces gun, fires shot within a second.
dead."
That guy is gone.
And
So she starts the car and pushes it off the cliff.
yes, and you see this car roll down this cliffside,
To their credit, they pushed a car off a cliff.
and it's either in the Wikipedia or somewhere else that they say that there was debate whether they believe it was his daughter, the director's daughter's car, and he may not have had permission to do that from her. But yes, rolls this car down this hill.
He does, yes.
To which it bounces, and then kind of disappears behind a hill.
That could possibly be the best backstory or thing to do with this movie. Because I imagine like she got a bad report card or something like that.
I'll show you.
Like, and didn't tell her anything. It's just like, hey, you want to see the dailies for my movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that my car?
Yeah.
Like parents now who are shooting their kids' cell phones on
Yeah.
YouTube.
But the car.
That's why you always leave a note.
The car bounces down the hill, eventually disappears by it, and we're like, they don't have the budget to blow it up.
No.
So they do have the budget to buy a stock footage screen filling explosion, which they cut to.
Which is just the scratchiest, shittiest film.
It is the best.
It's like from a 60s trailer. It's so bad looking. It's... But whatever.
Yeah.
You knew what you needed to do. You just couldn't pull it off yourself. But okay, at least you saw one movie at some point where like, we got to blow up the car when it hits the bottom of the
and
mountain.
this is when she goes back in the hotel and like the world's worst television news report comes on.
It looks like some terrorist propaganda network that she's watching. Just some Asian Dawn, like the terrorist movement. Because there's like,
but it's like
eagles
Trish
fighting each
Nakamura
other
behind the counter.
Yeah, but I mean,
given the news report how they're searching for a murderer, and
it's like the JIL TV network, and there's like two eagles fighting each other on the station's logo, and it's just like, well, this is some weird black market television you're watching, and just the news reporter is telling the whole story, just like, yeah, the cops are like, there's a bunch of guys and they're all dead, and it's probably a woman. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, oh no, they're catching on to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that's been revealed is that they think it's a woman. And she's like, oh dear God, they might know it's me.
Mm-hmm. Which they do. Yeah. Because eventually the cops are passing around folders, and it's got her like glamour shots on it.
Yeah, it does.
From God knows where. And at some point, the police chief has been telling the cop that he needs to be off the case because he's too close, because it was his brother. So
future brother.
So he shouldn't be investigating it.
Right. But then he has a little... he stops telling him that. He's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. And then he has his own little outer monologue of like, yeah, he's probably too close to the case and he shouldn't be on it, but he's a cop.
Yep. Which means he's not a rapist.
Right. You got to establish that. Cop. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they've gotten something where they're like, okay, so we found a dead biker on the beach. Let's go investigate that. Mm-hmm. So he's got a picture of the dead biker, and he goes to the nicest biker bar I've ever seen.
It's a bar that just happens to have bikers in it.
It's the biker sports bar.
Yeah.
I mean, they go down to the local
Bikigans.
It's bikergans.
Yes. All sorts of biker tchotchkes on the wall. And
Apple bikes.
yes. Biker shooters.
Everybody wears 15 pieces of
Yeah. So...
You want some extreme fajitas?
Yeah, and this is where he meets the bartender, who is the one male character who's not a cop or a rapist.
Well, we don't know.
He's in a black
both.
hole. We don't know.
He wasn't in the movie long enough to set the bar.
We didn't establish.
But eventually he's like, all right, man, you paid me $200 for 2 beers. What do you want?
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, I need to find out about these bikers. He's like, no, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Don't. It's bad. And he's like, listen, I need to find who this dude was.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that dude, well, he's dead, but his son Black Pepper runs everything.
Black Pepper.
Black Pepper.
Black Pepper.
Which is, I gotta admit, an awesome nickname.
Kinda, if the guy...
The problem is, when we eventually see this guy, he looks like Jake Busey.
He looks like a very thin Dog the Bounty Hunter.
crossed with Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes. All of these.
Crossed with Jake Busey.
Yes.
I don't know. The Black Pepper, yes. I mean, yes. If only because by the end of it, he looks like Jake Busey from Contact.
Yes, exactly.
Is it fine?
Yep.
But, I mean, as far as nicknames go, that's pretty fucking lame. And I'm brought to the movie Fear of a Black Hat, where the parody group was Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme.
Yes.
And they compare that, no, we're not like salt and pepper. They're just common table spices.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny, but the dad biker's name was something like Todd. Like, the dead
Yeah.
biker is like, oh, that's Todd. Yeah, he's dead. His son, Black Pepper, runs everything. I'm like, what? And the bartender says it with such just casualness. Just like, yeah, that's his son's Black Pepper.
This is my cousin Kittle Shot. The best line said most casually ever.
Yeah. And now, intercut with all of this, while the bikers are behaving themselves and just drinking their beers, is some lady playing darts. Like, by herself, just standing right in front of the dart machine, just throwing the darts at it. And that happens like 2 or 3 times. And eventually, this bald biker is just like, man, see that lady? Well, you know what happens to ladies.
I want a piece of that. I'm not a cop, so you know what I am.
Yeah. So that lady goes to leave.
I would like to just make another quick interjection.
Sure, go ahead.
All of the rapists in this movie call every woman bitch every time they refer to her.
Yes.
Yep.
It's so weird. Like, this is the only thing that I can think to call a lady. And apparently Menachem Golan's back.
And they all say the same thing, which is basically like, come here.
Right.
Come here, bitch, which really is not the most endearing thing you could say to maybe coerce someone to come over to you and stop kicking you in the balls.
Right.
Yeah. But instead, she goes outside, like, she basically shrugs him off. It's like, no. And shakes him off and storms out.
She time warps out into the daylight.
Goes out the back door and just decides, okay, it's time to strip down to my bikini and go.
Yeah, it's because it's not just a door outside to a different time of day. It's to a different place.
They're back on the death beach.
Yeah. Well,
I think the implication is that this bar is across the street from Death Beach, but no, geographically, they've never set that up.
After a near assault, her response is, I'm going to go swimming now.
Yes, as nude as possible while still not breaking the law. And, you know, there's something to be said for curvy women. It can be an appealing thing, but when you put them in dental floss and make them run towards the beach, it's like that. It's like that Baywatch parody video that Erica Laniak did, where it was like, "Oh, okay, I get it. You put on some weight." You know, it's awkward as this woman frolics around in the beach.
It doesn't do her any favors
in her thong.
Yeah, it does not present her in a flattering light.
There is a way they could have clothed her.
Yes, absolutely.
For her body type.
Yes.
That they didn't do.
No.
That's all I will say.
She needed a little help.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, wear as little as possible. Because she gets out in the water and instantly the waves are just beating the clothes off of her. And she's just like, oh, dear God. Oh, no. Whoopsie. It's just.
Yeah. And he comes out. He's like, oh, there she is.
Yes.
And so storms down, starts trying to assault her. And meanwhile, the bartender has told our cop friend, yeah, you need to go after, I don't even know what that guy's name is, bald biker guy with a tattoo on his forehead.
Does he even say anything about that? He's like, oh, he went outside after that lady. He just mentions it casually. Nobody says anything about, like, that dude looked like he was in a raping mood.
I think he said something.
Keep in mind the universe they're existing in.
No, the bartender said something to him like, that guy knows where Black Pepper is.
Right. He didn't say he's heading
rape
out
time.
Yeah.
No, that's understood.
I think
that's implied.
Right. So there's no like, oh, let me go be noble and save this girl. He's looking for information.
Right.
Even though everybody in the bar has seen this altercation.
Yes, exactly.
And him shouting, I'm going to go after that woman. Ah!
Yeah.
I'm not a cop. I'm going to get that, bitch.
Yeah.
So say it with as much flavor as that.
Our cop friend gets out there and basically just puts him in a headlock that isn't even like a sleeper hold or anything. It's basically him just holding the back of his head and holding his chin.
Well, okay. The bad stuff starts to happen, and you see the cop start to walk that way, and it's almost comically like the bit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where it's just like, the guy's so far away. Like, he's at the top of this hill, and they just keep cutting back to him. Yes, exactly. Just kind of approaching the scene. And then all of a sudden, haha, he's here. And putting a stop to it. She immediately goes and puts on, like, her house dress, her beach dress thing, and is just standing at this rock kind of judgmentally watching
standing over her beach towel.
Yes, but just kind of judging this situation that's happening, like, I can't believe this.
The Russian judges only gave it a 7. They didn't really like the form of that headlock, so... You know.
Yeah. But yeah, the cop basically tilts his head to death.
No, but he just puts him to sleep.
Yeah.
Because that guy comes back later.
He does.
But then, but as far as it's like as we see it, he murders this guy.
Yes, he does.
Because this
murders
guy,
him.
he murders this guy by squeezing his head to death.
Because I think the best actor in the movie is one of his sidekicks from the bar, who he had a line in the bar. It was all right. It was pretty funny. Something about because the guy was basically looking for acknowledgement from his cronies about the sexiness of the dart playing lady.
Yeah.
And this guy's reaction was, pretty comical in the terrible delivery fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then next time we see him, is he's standing on the cliffside looking for his buddy, whatever it is, and he's like, "Where the fuck are you, Skip?" I'm going to say Skip. I don't know.
It's called Pickaxe.
Yeah, sure.
Where you at, Pickaxe?
But then he just turns his head. He's like, "Oh, there you are, motherfucker!" And then just this dude.
Well, it's funny because he's only looking right. And he's exasperated that he can't find his friend. He's just like, well, fuck this. Oh, there you are, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you just had to turn left.
Hey, maybe that guy's really myopic. Maybe he's just he doesn't want to wear his glasses.
His peripheral vision is terrible.
Yeah, but he bumbles his way down to the beach and just continues his wonderful acting as he is trying to slap awake Pickaxe Skip, whatever the guy's name is, whatever.
Pickaxe Skip.
Pickaxe Skip.
Yeah,
but he's like, "Come on, be alive, slap."
What's the matter with you? Come on, man.
And we leave the scene with him kind of shaking him, like, "Why won't you wake up?"
Yeah.
And
Please wake up.
Meanwhile, Cop Guy, before this guy came out, Cop Guy's just like, "Hey, lady who almost got raped, I'm glad you're okay. Need a ride?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they have shake your hands like, "Oh, yeah, how you doing? How you doing?"
Yeah, I'm a cop.
Then she rolls up her beach towel like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine here."
Get into my Volvo and let's go away.
Yeah.
Nearly
And we'll
escaped
hatch a
my time
plan.
at Death/Rape Beach. Man, it
Yeah.
was a close one. I probably shouldn't have come out here in dental floss.
Yeah,
but,
and
whew.
and in an unseen scene, there's apparently some dialogue that says, "Hey,
Yeah, you want to be my bait?
I know you were almost raped on the beach and probably were going to be killed by that guy. How would you like to almost be raped again?"
Yeah, by sexually posing on my Volvo. And when I say Volvo, I mean the boxiest motherfucking Volvo you can think of, like the 1980s family truckster fucking Volvo.
It's the Volvo-iest of Volvos.
And apparently their plan is to get this guy to stop so that they can catch him.
Raping again.
Yeah, and our hero has hid in the back seat of the car and waited for this to happen. So, of course, the biker guy goes, "Oh, we got some unfinished business," and proceeds to basically start tearing her clothes off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, our hero got his shoe stuck underneath the back seat and can't get out of the car.
Yeah.
And it takes him a good 3 minutes to get his pony sneaker unlodged from underneath the back seat so he can go out and save her.
It's unbelievable. The fact that this is happening, of all the things that are happening in this movie, this is what the fuck? How did you sell this to her? Why are you even doing this? I think you thought you killed that guy. What was your plan? What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
You just wanted to catch another biker
Well,
guy?
it works because the bike gang comes around the corner to her sitting on the hood and she's changed. Now she's wearing sort of
Daisy Dukes?
She's wearing
Sexier
mom's
stuff.
Daisy Dukes.
Yes.
Yeah,
essentially.
high waist Daisy.
Yeah. So
All the fabric went from the legs to the waist.
So the bike gang comes around the corner and for whatever reason, I guess Pickaxe Stu or whatever his fucking name was.
He's like, "Oh,
Skip.
okay."
Pickaxe Skip. Sorry,
Pickaxe
I
Skip.
get his name straight.
Uh-huh.
It's just all right, see you later, guys. I'm going to deal with what I tried to deal with earlier that
Right.
almost got me killed.
Yeah.
And they all just leave him because
They're like, "Okay, Skip, we'll see you
he
at
pulls
the
his bike over,
rendezvous."
he picks her up and carries her off into the woods and starts rapey time again.
yeah.
And of course,
And eventually our hero gets himself out of the back seat.
Yeah. Yeah, and he eventually gets up there and is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're doing this
Yeah,
again.
gets out of the car and he's wearing a motorcycle helmet. And Pickaxe is like, "No, fuck you," and pulls out a gun and shoots at him twice.
And he's he's standing
To
there.
which he straight up Supermans. He's just like, "You didn't shoot me,"
Nope. Those bullets did not hit me.
and then gets in a fight and eventually knocks Pickaxe Skip out again by caressing his head
Yes. Again.
and
Kills him,
then
puts him to
starts
sleep.
tying him up. And she's just like, "Man, your plan with that bulletproof vest really worked."
Just like you said it would.
And we're just like, fuck you.
That's so not
Fuck
how
you.
those things do not work like that at all. You can't just ignore bullets.
That man has shattered ribs.
Yes.
Like a bulletproof vest shatters your ribs.
He's just like, da da da. You can't shoot me.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then he's like, yeah, my plan totally worked. Would you put some appropriate clothes on?
Yeah.
To which she goes over and just bends her ass right into the camera.
Oh, well, she's already like, well, it's sexy time, don't you know?
Yes. And he's like, good Lord, Mom, put some jeans on,
Yeah.
please. And she bends over for a while and just ass right in the camera, and then finally puts on her bongo jeans or whatever. And then they're just like, okay, well, thanks for your service. Now I know where Black Pepper is somehow. Or no. Okay,
Yeah, he's going to take the
this must have
biker.
been the late 90s portion of the movie. Like, bongo jeans. Your mom wears them now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got the biker in the backseat and her in the front.
Man, eventually he just drops her off.
Right.
And she's like, all right,
See you later.
nice job.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, no, you're going to take me to Black Pepper. And he's just like, and Pickaxe in the backseat is just like, everyone who goes to see Black Pepper gets murdered.
Yeah. You're
Good
gonna
luck,
die.
cop guy.
Black Pepper's gonna murder you sight unseen. And then they fucking cut to Black Pepper. And he's chilling on the couch with a lady in a Hard Rock Cafe baseball jersey. And you're like, all right, I guess maybe this is a Black Pepper henchman of some kind. I don't know. And then like,
Nope.
you're looking at this oil painting on the wall, and then just out of frame, just like, surprise, it's a belly dancer.
Yep.
And then the belly dancer dances for 5 minutes.
Yep.
While apparently Black Pepper and his lady are like having sexy times. I guess
They're just sort of
Kinda.
hanging out in the back enjoying
Yeah,
the show.
she's like hanging on his lap. And then he's like, all right, thanks, Crystal. We'll see you next week.
right.
I'll see you at the club.
Yeah. Which then cuts to sexy time in the bedroom, which involves fondling knees and licking belly buttons.
Seriously, it is so much kissing and rubbing and the same like 5 seconds of her going, that's great. Yeah, don't stop. Yeah, that's great. Don't stop. For a fucking eternity.
It is an eternity.
Fucking eternity.
It's
is-
longer than the naked man scene from earlier. It really is. Now,
They were kissing and writhing longer than the people in From Here to Eternity on the beach in this fucking movie. This was actual fucking eternity.
yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh
like
my
when it
God.
finally cut away, it was the sweet release.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it was like the
really
sweet release of
Was
death.
it?
Yeah,
But it's funny because it does cut right back to it.
it does.
And then, like, to wrap it up, they just take like 2 seconds of each shot and just edit them all together into this weird, like, cut, and it's over. And it's like, wait, what happened here?
Yeah.
Because a guy.
Well, because they pull up.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, all right, we're going to see Black Pepper now.
Yeah.
And then 2 guys run out from behind the bushes and they're like, who are you?
Nobody
Why are you
sees
here?
Black Pepper.
You know, and they're like, Pickaxe, why you got this guy here? What the hell?
Yeah.
And he's like, Superman there. And immediately, suddenly, you hear over the bullhorn, all right, this is the police. Put your hands up, surrender. And it's the old sheriff guy from earlier.
Right.
And he's
the
like,
man
all
who
right.
revealed himself to be the real police chief.
Yeah,
And
while
also
reading notes on his desk.
Yeah.
Like the literal script was sitting on his desk in front of him
Yep.
while he's having a phone conversation, just reading from the script.
with his name highlighted,
Yep, with his stuff highlighted.
which, you know, I'm sure
but-
John S. Rad never thought this movie would be on Blu-ray, so we could see
likely.
that detail.
But yeah, so those guys get arrested. But this is when somebody barges in on Black Pepper having the sex with this girl.
Yeah,
And
Willie
he's like,
Ames busts in.
Yeah, he's like, hey, the cops are here. And he's like, what, you son of a bitch, we got to get out of here.
He's like, tell the guys to deal with him.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, okay.
Yep.
It's like, I'm not going to commit to that, but all right, whatever. You're the boss, Black Pepper, because you're the coolest. I don't know.
No.
So yeah, the cops come in, including the guy who we thought was the police chief, the black guy, who is wearing a cutoff jean shirt and is just jacked for some reason. I don't know
He's been
why.
working out since they did those first scenes, but they end up just arresting the woman in her underwear.
for a while.
It's another prolonged scene that goes on forever.
Yeah.
Because she like reveals herself from under the sheet, and they're like, "Come on, lady, just take the sheet off." And they arrest her forever.
Yeah, but
Black Pepper
but-
escapes.
Yeah, Black Pepper's running outside, and that's when our cop buddy is like, "I gotta chase after Black Pepper," and the sheriff's like, "Go get him." And then they get in a fist fight.
Now, bear in mind, why the fuck is anyone here? Like, how does anyone know about any of this?
That's a good point.
All right.
That's an excellent point.
don't
But
know.
they are all acting like if we don't get Black Pepper, he's the fucking Lex Luthor of this whole thing. Black Pepper is the key.
He's also a bit of the Lex Luger of this kind of thing.
Well, he's also kind of the modern day Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's
Jesse Eisenberg version.
immediately this movie's just like all efforts focus on getting Black Pepper, where it's like, wait, we don't even know who this guy is. He's the son of the dead guy on the beach. So what? That's not a crime. Who cares? Let him have his belly dancing and his weird making out with his
Come on.
girlfriend. It's not a crime.
I don't know. I think they're probably arresting him purely on the length of that scene that just wouldn't end.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it just, I don't know. It becomes a foot chase. That's terrible.
Future cop brother fights him.
Briefly. Oh, he gets his ass kicked, I guess.
Yeah, and there's
It's scored to video game soundtrack punches.
Yeah.
and the punching is all accentuated by one grunt sound. Just like someone hit the sound test in Street Fighter 2 and it's just hit grunt 1 over and over and over and
Yes.
over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every punch, every swing is the same noise.
Yes.
It's really bizarre. But he kicks Future Cop's ass.
Yeah. And that guy's knocked out, and then the old sheriff has to come over and feel him go, "Oh, thank God you're not dead.
Yes.
I'm going to get you, Black Pepper."
It's the last thing I do.
And the last 10 minutes of the movie is this old man that we've only seen on a phone earlier
Reading a script.
chasing through the desert, like through the rocks, the Badlands,
Yeah.
to track down Black Pepper, who eventually breaks into a house where a blind woman is knitting.
Yeah.
She's making a quilt or flossing or something, but luckily...
No, she's sewing, definitely sewing. The tooth thing is like to cut the.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's so disjointed it looks
Sure.
like dumb bullshit. But luckily, she also makes her quilts with a Luger
Well, yes.
because she
Luger.
hears noise and she's like, "Time to pull out my German firearm and see who's there," which is just basically like, "Who's there?" And then Black Pepper's standing there
Well,
like,
he has an outer monologue too. He's like, "Oh, she's blind. What luck?" And she's like, "Wait, I can hear that."
"I can hear it really well."
And let me
blind.
shoot in that general direction.
Yeah. Misses. And so Black Pepper just sneaks around the house to the other side.
Yeah. She's got one of those houses where you can come in the room either way, two different ways. So.
And he's gonna attack her because
Why not?
that's the universe we're in.
Sure.
Old sheriff.
I am running away from to save myself, but I've got time to stop and rape. I guess.
Yeah.
A blind woman. Sure.
Old sheriff barges in, kind of confronts and gets tangled up in this, and
Holds
is like,
the gun to the head and is like, "You're under arrest."
Yeah.
She sits down on the arm of the chair.
"Yep." And we're like, okay, she's gonna like shoot the old sheriff by mistake because she's blind. That's why this is happening, right?
Well, he does actually say like, "I'm a cop."
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
Not that he would have any idea that she's blind.
No.
But whatever.
Nope. But no, none of that happens. The movie just ends.
It does. Yes.
It freeze
Thankfully.
frames on him getting getting handcuffed, and her like kind of awkwardly falling over the side of the chair.
Yep.
And it straight up freeze frames to credits.
Yes.
With that.
Yes. And no one in the credits has a name. Black Pepper is named drug dealer. Drug dealer. Head drug dealer.
Yep.
You gave him an awesome name like Black Pepper and you don't put that in the credits? What
I
the
know.
hell, man?
I'm surprised that the credits didn't get punched up a little bit.
They should have. Yeah.
Surprised
yeah.
the people making this didn't get punched a lot.
Well, we don't know.
Oh,
We don't know that it's a journey.
Apparently, they've tried to speak with a lot of the people involved in this.
the director is dead.
Yeah, the director
That's a problem.
died in like 2007.
The editor is dead.
Yes,
doesn't
the guy
seem to be
did
much
the
of a
music.
problem.
the
Like
entire
that-
crew is dead.
The actors.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like even though some of the people have been in other things,
They don't want to talk about
they
it?
refuse to talk about it. So there's something weird going on with all like
Probably
Sure.
this guy was like one of the biggest scumbags who's ever lived. I mean, look at what the subject of his movie.
I bet there's some unsavory activity that
Yeah.
happened.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to make some supposition here, but that guy was probably a fucking asshat
Yeah.
from the word go.
I mean, there's
I
a
hate
reason
to
the
say
movie
it,
had
but-
to have been shut down so many times. I think probably like cast members were revolting. They were just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not coming back to work. It's not worth it. Mm-hmm. And then he would have to shut down for 7 years and then just be like, aha. And then he just, now the story's about
Yeah,
old
but-
sheriff man.
but also someone where every male's default response to seeing a woman is, I should rape her.
Yeah, that's bad.
You know, there's a problem there as well.
Yes, it's problematic.
Yeah. To say the least.
We need to talk about dangerous
It is
men.
the most problematic.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's... There's nothing like this. That's for goddamn sure.
No.
But it's one of those that also kind of defies a rating because its randomness just like kind of explodes into just like it feels so foreign, it's almost incomprehensible.
Yeah, I think someone on the box called it an alien transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, a transmission from an alien
Yeah,
world.
but it's got, and that's the thing, is it's got all the stuff that all of these types of classics have, where it's poorly acted for one, it's poorly made, it's poorly edited, the scenes go on way too long, and it has that weird thing of just like, are these humans? Like,
Or are they dancer?
Yeah, but like, who told them to do these things that humans don't do?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I think...
And then you add on to that incredibly weird soundtrack.
Yeah. I want to say, I don't want to say in this movie's defense, I want to say in the defense of some people like this, and you think about like this guy and the guy who made Samurai Cop and the guy who made Birdemic and all these things, they're not native-born American, and they grew up in foreign lands, and they were probably getting our movies very cut up and dubbed and out of order, and just probably thinking that's what movies are. Movies are disjointed and crazy, and they don't make any sense. I can't wait to go to America and do that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
so
that's unfortunate, but
it is. Yes, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but these guys seem so passionate about. I mean, he's fucking stuck with this for 26 years,
and there is like no sense of irony or anything in it.
Yeah,
Like, it is one of those deals that's like, you know, it's like The Room. It's the genuine article. It's like he thought he was making this amazing thing.
Yes,
he had to have.
Yes, had to have.
Considering he sunk the money into renting theaters to show it and got 7 tickets sold.
Yeah.
Total.
I mean, you think about movies. There are so many movies out there that were abandoned entirely by huge Hollywood corporations. Like, they would film like 75% of it and go, no, we can't finish it, shelve it. And it never exists again. And this guy was like, you know what? No, I'm going to stick with this story. This story is the one I have to tell. I have to finish this. So, we should rate it.
Yeah, we should.
Yep, we should.
I can predict Harlow's rating.
Yeah, you may as well just go first.
Yeah, go ahead, Harlow.
Yeah,
We know. We know.
Yeah, it's a 5-bag movie easily. I mean, it's devoid of anything like worthy of seeing. I mean, there's like, this is exactly what makes me angry when people say that they like bad movies and they point to something like this. I mean, I'm not trying to call them out, but I mean, like, this is like,
Nope, call them out.
This is the epitome of like the bad movie hipsters roll call. Like, this is like chief number 1 of it.
I'm glad we did it first.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, this is like the kind of thing they would be like, oh man, best bad movie ever, and it's like, why? Like, it's awkward, it's terrible to watch. Everything about it is terrible, and like, not even in a fun way. There are so many other movies that have fun bad. I mean, The Room can be fun bad if you're laughing about it. It's like, it's at least I don't know. At least it's some sort of a narrative from beginning to end. Yeah, it has dangling plot lines that come out of nowhere and go nowhere. But like, this is just one dangling plot line after another, and you know, in random inserted scenes and gross shots of women that, you know, probably. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but you know, it's like I don't really want to see them in the first place. It's like, you know, I don't want to see like Motley Crue's groupies now, which is what most of this cast kind of looks like. You know.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not fun in any way, shape, or form. And if I wanted to see something that has struggled to exist and find an audience that's like the late 70s with very little success, I'd just go watch the career of Jim Belushi.
Wow. Damn, son.
No.
Well, drop your mic.
Well, I think, yeah, and to your point, I think this has the appeal among the community that is seeking to mock these things, which is not our goal, and it really has never been, is to find, we never go into something going, man, I can't wait to make fun of this. I mean, we make jokes as we're watching things, but we're never, like, that's never the point of being there.
Correct.
And I think that's why this one hits us so wrong, is because it's so easy to mock and to just turn on completely and hate, basically. But it's like, I hate to say, but it's just a repugnant movie. I mean, it is gross in so many ways, especially in his treatment of women, obviously, in that, the default mode is, okay, that woman needs to get raped. It's creepy in a way that is not fun, even though there is fun to be had in that whole, like, how does this exist? How do you make actors do these things that are so anti everything that humans do? That there's that weirdness that permeates everything about it, but it's still at its core pretty gross.
Yeah, it almost turns a corner though when it slides into that, like, this woman's gonna get revenge for all the women that have ever been wronged. She's gonna go out there and fucking murder all these rapist bastards.
I was like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe go with this. It might be okay.
And there's a converging storyline. Like, I can see where there's a pretty interesting movie in this, where we continue along with her storyline and her brother, and they're trying to keep one step ahead of each other, and they eventually shoot out, everybody dies, nobody's happy, something like that. But they just abandon that, and it leaves it just like leaves that thread and picks up the plot line of, like, oh, okay, all right, we're back to women are here to be victims again. All right, let's tally ho.
Right.
Yeah. But it's definitely, like, I can see how people enjoy it, but it's definitely not for bad movie amateurs. It's not like you go, hey, I want to show people about, like, what, like, crazy bad movies I want to introduce them to. It's like, no, you don't show them this.
No.
Like you have to.
You don't start here. No.
Yeah, you really have to have someone who's been like, yeah, I've seen The Room like a dozen times,
right.
And I get that. And I mean, and I do have the feeling like that we're having the same reaction we had to The Room, which we all gave bags to way back when, and then saw it at a midnight showing with a crowd, and we're like, man, this is great. This is so much fun. Sure. And maybe that could be there. I don't know, but in our realm, this is, sadly, it's a 5 bags movie. I mean, it can't dig itself out of the hole it's created, and it's a pretty goddamn deep hole.
All right.
Yeah. To go back to The Room again, I think the thing is like, if we watch we've talked about this before, but, like, everything about The Room sets itself up for misconception, because, like, the cover and everything and the font and, like, everything, the way that movie starts is not where you think that movie's going to go by the end. Like, I mean, the cover in To See Tommy Wiseau looks like a fucking horror movie, and, like, everything about that, like, the way it starts, is like, okay, what weird dark path is this going to go down? And then it's like, it's the weirdest, like,
I still remember just being shocked at the end that there wasn't, like, some murderous rampage by him.
Yeah,
because that was completely what I was expecting.
Sure.
And
what horrible thing will go down?
And it just never does.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Right, but yeah, that's like I said, Room's just one of those, like, I think we unfortunately had preconceived notions, and we watched it and we're like, what the fuck is this? Which I still think, but like, for different reasons now.
Good, yes. BJ?
I don't know if I'm ready to actually talk about it.
I'll go then.
In any more detail. Like, I don't know that I have anything to add. I somehow don't feel like this movie has necessarily earned 5 bags, even though it's pretty bad. I'm lucky that right now I don't remember what else we've given 5 bags to, except for a couple obvious ones.
Right.
Because I think it's good that I don't compare it directly to anything else. But there's just, like, a carelessness and a sieging along with carelessness to this movie. Like, nobody gives a shit about anything in this movie looking good, sounding good, feeling good at all. It's just you just soldier along with blatant disregard for taste or quality. And it feels like feels like the director is making a shit movie and knows he's making a shit movie and just doesn't care sometimes. Like, because it doesn't feel like you can be tuned into trying to make a cool movie or a good movie and end up with something like this. Like The Room, for comparison, Tommy Wiseau thinks he's making an awesome thing the entire way through and cares about making an awesome thing, but just doesn't know how to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, has no clue what the filmmaking process is, but soldiers along anyway, with head held high and proud of doing it while he's doing it and proud of it when it's done. This guy, it feels like he's just like, don't know how to make a movie, don't care. Gonna make a movie, doesn't matter if it's good. I'm gonna make it anyway. Here it is. Yep. It's a movie. Right. Look at that.
Yeah, it sure is.
Almost like he made it out of spite.
I'll show you.
Yeah, maybe I have talked myself into 5 bags on this movie. Yeah, I'm kind of mad at it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 bags.
Okay.
Final answer.
All right.
Stamp it.
I should preface this with a disclaimer, kind of an apology kind of thing, in that
if you give it jocks, I'm going to beat you with this table.
Cool. When we've talked about stuff like Samurai Cop and Killing American Style and Ninja Busters and stuff like that, I think probably one of us in each of those episodes at some point has said, this guy, meaning the director, clearly had no idea how to make a movie. Mm-hmm. Like, had no idea how to make a movie. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking back to those movies and thinking, you know what? No, those guys did know how to make a movie. They just weren't any good at it. They knew, like, what the story was, and you needed an action scene here. Yeah. They just weren't any good at, oh, well, the guy's wig fell off. Maybe we should have cut that. No, well...
Yeah, Samurai Cop, by comparison, is a masterpiece of filmmaking compared to this.
Yes. So, when looking back at all those movies, it's the Samurai Cops and the Birdemics and all these things, I mean, they're terribly made, but from like a start to finish kind of thing, you look at it and you go, okay, well, someone at least had, you know, like the essence of a screenplay. Like, they knew where they were going with it. This movie doesn't have any of that, none of it. It has no structure. It has a genesis of an idea that was ripped off of other movies that were being made around the early 80s and then just couldn't maintain it for whatever reason, for reasons we'll never know. We will never know why this movie stopped and started so many times over the years, why he stuck with it. Those things they're just never going to come up.
Yeah.
But my dilemma with this is seeking a way to condemn it as strongly as all of you have when I think back to movies that I have sat here and hated. Like, fucking hated. Like, sitting through Loose Cannons and sitting through Ford Fairlane and sitting through these movies that are just like, every ounce of this movie is doing nothing but pissing me off. This movie didn't piss me off in any way because it was made by someone so clueless. I can't speak to their motivation specifically if they are a terrible person or not. I can't, because there are so many exploitation movies made late 70s, early 80s that were worse. Death Wish 2 is so vile. Death Wish 2 is something I will never watch again because it is so disgustingly vile. It doesn't matter what Charles Bronson does to anyone in that movie. The 20 to 25 minutes of rape you have to watch to get to that is fucking unacceptable. This movie is kind of like this casual, like, rape just kind of means taking someone's shirt off and poking at them kind of dumb grossness. It's all very gross. The attitudes of it are gross and everything like that. But like the box says, this alien transmission quality of this movie makes it interesting to me. I think it's something that I could tell people after they have seen all of those movies, Miami Connection, Ninja Busters, all of that. Yeah, you might want to check this out. It's one of those. It's a lot worse than one of those, but it's one of those. And I think because I have to say I'm recommending it to people, I have to give it a single jocks. Because I can't recommend something I'm giving bags to. Bags make me angry. This movie didn't make me angry. I threw my hands up in the air a few times and was like, what is happening? But I was never pissed off at this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, there were quite a few points where I was just shocked into laughter.
Yep.
You know, and so 5 does feel harsh when you put it the way you just did, but I think I still have to stick with that.
Absolutely.
But I can see how you could say yes, because you know you've seen worse. You know, you've seen more vile and more just gross. But
I think Ford Fairlane is more offensive to me than this movie. You have to deal with that guy.
Yeah,
that movie made me angry.
Yeah, it's kind of like if all the shitbirds in this movie were one character, it would be the Dice Man.
I mean, the things I don't want in a BMFcast movie don't make me angry and don't bore me. You know, this movie was so bewildering that it never, aside from it started to lose me, and I think it broke the room with the naked guy. I think that's when everyone in the room turned on this movie, and it never recovered after that.
Yeah.
But it never got me to the point where I just was like, this is the worst. Just fuck everything about this. I don't care. It just never did that to me. So I'm not angry at this movie. I'm not.
Well, I'm angry at you.
Well, hit me with this table. You promised. Come on.
I don't want to later.
No, I know what it's like to be in your shoes, being the one guy who's like, yeah, elves.
Yeah, I know.
Let's watch this.
Absolutely.
And everyone's like, no, fuck you. What's wrong with you?
Maintain to this day, I'm wrong about elves. So.
And I agree that you were wrong.
I am. Yes, absolutely. We agree.
But I know what it's like to be in your chair right now.
Yeah.
And
I'm not trying to. I'm honestly
you're not trying to hipster us either.
No, and I'm not trying to talk you guys out of it. I'm just saying, from my point of view, I know we're all looking for different things from these movies, and I'm not. It did not produce any harsh negative feelings within me.
Yeah, I get it. You justified your rating well enough that I probably won't hit you with the table.
Fair enough. That's all I wanted to do. That's why I was so passionate about it. I didn't want to get it.
You were. I was like,
in there. BJ, listen, believe me, this is coming from my heart. Yeah. My huge, giant heart.
Your broken-ass big old heart.
I'd just like for us to take a break so we can stop talking about this movie.
That we can do.
This is like an hour and a half first half.
Yeah.
Drop it like it's...
And now we'll never have to talk about it again.
Nope. Gone. Except when I put it in my Voodoo account.
I think I will say this, like...
Ooh, it's region free.
Ooh, you can sell it anywhere.
Yeah. Since I can...
shipping.
I'm sitting here, I can still talk about it.
I guess that's how it works. Make that go away.
A good thing about this movie is the fact that it doesn't make you sit through actual rape for any period of time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
I will
like,
say that.
it's just
Nobody
like
actually-
we're about to rape, but boy, do they try.
It's menace.
Yeah.
You know, it's that
It's
kind
sexual
of threat.
assault, I guess.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to split hairs, but it doesn't make us sit through the act of someone being raped, like I guess Death Wish 2 does, and
Death Wish 2 is deplorable.
And Death Stalker.
I just know that, you know, like the movies that we all would veto because of the keyword, the IMDb keyword, that don't get consideration, that I leave off the list, I do eventually watch because I'm always looking for something. And I mean, there are fuck, what's the dude's name? The guy we watch all the movies of, the low budget, did Invasion Force and...
What, David Pryor?
Yes, David Pryor. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just so passionate.
Yeah.
That one movie he made, that there was like another 1990 movie that he made that I had watched, and I was like, this is a perfect BMFcast movie, except for the 10-minute scene where a woman gets raped to death. It's like, you can't have that.
Yeah.
But that's like actual deplorable grossness. I can't stand that in movies. When it's just bikers being like, lady, bleh, you know.
This is a little worse than like bikers being ladies. I mean, it's
because that's the universe this movie's in, where it's all either rape or uphold the law. I think this guy was just aping certain movies and didn't understand that there was a way to do it with, you know, like subtlety. You know. No, I didn't.
Do you got anything second half?
No.
God, here I thought we were going to have a short half. That never happens. Ever.
No, but at least we've got, you know, an hour before the cutoff. Sure is. Telling you, man. Let's get one of those mystifiers. Missed it up.
You're already our mystifier check.
I know, because I like garbage.
So you got anything second half?
I watched Deadpool again.
Ooh.
It's on sort of home video. It's on digital home video.
I might have to plex that from you.
No, I don't have no Plex. What's this?
Oh, that's
legal
right.
things.
Oh, that's right. I meant the Cinemaplex.
No, I'm obviously I'm going to own that fucking movie. I just
Yeah.
not right now because I can't.
It's not like in a week, so you don't have much time left.
I know.
Talk principal.
No, I mean it's actually out on like iTunes and Amazon and everything. I'm saying it's like
No, I know, yeah.
I mean I've never understood like go spend $15 there.
80%.
When you can wait 2 weeks and spend $15 to $20 and get a physical copy as a backup.
Some people are perfectly okay buying
I know,
a digital locker version of their movie for
I know.
dumb reasons.
I just I mean I'd like to have a disc in case
Oh, I agree with you.
iTunes or definitely Ultraviolet goes away because Ultraviolet probably should go away.
Yeah. Go away.
Well, it's fine as long as it puts movies in Chuck's voodoo.
Sure.
You're about to get another dose of voodoo. There's an influx coming.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, another
Got a
hot
bunch of codes?
20 or 30 titles.
Are you coding it up?
No, I convert them in like blocks of 10 because once you do 10 in a row, you get 50% off. So
What do you mean?
you pop
convert
in a
them?
DVD and it gives you a high def copy for $2.50.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just converting all my my discs that way instead of buying Blu-rays. So
Is it now pretty much practically any movie, or is it there's still like a very limited number?
there's still studios that don't participate.
Okay.
MGM, of course, doesn't participate, which is like half my fucking library at this point.
Right.
Disney doesn't participate. So that's why all those Marvel movies were useless to me.
Okay.
Aw.
Yeah.
The only reason I want to mention Deadpool is I think I thought of another good way to sum up the movie. Like just a thing I thought about it watching it.
Got a new hot take?
Briefly, it just popped in my head of like why I think I enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
Sweet.
I watched an absolute ton of garbage, but it's all on my Letterboxd page, so if anyone's interested, just go there.
You should say that into the microphone.
I did.
In the podcast form.
No, I'm saying it to the chatters.
Okay. Live
Bonus
streamers.
content, yeah. They're
Hot streamers.
the true fans.
Only
Yeah.
true BMF kids will remember
That's right.
all the stuff that's on Chuck's letterbox.
That's right.
All right, second half time.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. All right, and welcome back.
Hey, second half.
Hey.
Woo. Man, I completely forgot about everything we did in the first half, so let's have a happy second half.
Okay.
You saw a movie?
I resaw a movie. I rewatched Deadpool because it's out in like digital format. You know, they're doing that thing pre-release to physical media now.
Skull Poople.
So I really enjoyed that movie, and I think I said that when I originally talked about it. But I think it dawned on me more the second time watching why it works and why it feels like kind of a fresh breath in the realm of superhero movies. Is I know we had Shane Black do Iron Man 3, but this feels like a Shane Black movie that had a script punched up by actually, giving a shit and carrying Kevin Smith, like back in the day. Like the quippy stuff is like feels straight out of like Clerks era kind of witty repartee.
I remember that guy when he was funny.
Yeah. And so, but with a plot structure and a messing of a timeline similar to what Shane Black would do. And so, like, it's just like it just dawned on me like that magical combination of fun is I think what makes that movie work so much. Because like it's weird, because like everyone's going to take this movie and ruin superhero movies thanks to it. Like there's going to be like let's make rated R movies with the same gusto that we don't understand why the movies that are working. See Batman v Superman, just like I don't know, if shit blow up, people watch, pay money. It doesn't have to be good. Obviously that's what Marvel's doing, so just do that. So I mean, now rated R is just going to be the thing that makes people fuck more movies up in a dumb way. So but whatever, you're never going to stop the clueless Hollywood studio machine of like, I don't know, just
that movie did a thing and made money.
copy
Let's do that.
Yeah. Copy that. We don't really care. So yeah, I don't know. It's I still like it, and I would highly recommend it.
I still need to see it. I'm bad at seeing current movies.
I plan to rent it when it comes out next week at Redbox.
Cool.
I want that subtle approval sound for everything I do. I just finished another day of work. Cool.
Call me up anytime, man.
Okay,
I'll
great.
provide that for you.
Thank you.
You just have to do a medium amount of drugs for that to just pop into your head
Okay.
at the end of the
I
workday.
could
So
probably
just start
manage
doing that.
Oh, all right.
Just a
One or
medium
two
amount.
weeds a
Medium
day.
amount.
Yeah, don't go overboard.
No?
Just a medium.
Keep it under
amount.
control?
Yeah.
And you'll
That's
be-
a good idea.
And it'll just pop into your head like the Great Gazoo. You'll be like, man, I finished that project at work. Boink.
Cool.
Thanks, Gazoo.
That sounds great.
See you later, man. All right.
Yeah, all that.
That's what a person who does a weed.
What else we
sounds
got?
like.
I know BJ. You watched in honor of Prince.
Yeah.
You watched some Purple Rain.
Rest in purple.
Yeah.
You.
Man, I thought,
Shiny bastard.
we were having a happy second half.
Well, watching Purple Rain
Yeah.
for people is happy.
I
Yeah,
watched the first 10 minutes, which is still fucking amazing. And the last 10 minutes.
It
and then
holds-
Darling Nikki in the middle.
Yeah, it holds strong for at least 20 minutes, and then it gets into that weird like, oh, now it's the movie about abuse. Oh shit.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty magical, you know, like if you can get through that stuff, that movie is magical, and especially that first 10 minutes, just
I agree with you. I mean, like,
that movie is just screaming and showering style at and upon you, just blasting you, and it was like the perfect thing to watch last Friday at work, like, you know, trying to finish off a crappy work week that was punctuated with a, you know, news of our purple Jesus being
BMFcast
snatched
alum.
away from us. BMFcast alum, the Prince.
who we probably weren't as nice to as we should have been in retrospect, but, you know, Graffiti Bridge was
is a bad movie.
It's a bad, yes,
bad.
it is. It's a bad movie.
I mean,
in a bad way.
I honestly, it crops my mind. I was like, do we do Under a Cherry Moon?
I
mean,
thought about that too. I didn't want to
Yeah.
bring it up because I didn't want to, you know,
know.
ruffle feathers.
I know. Or Ruffle Ruffles.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not in that movie.
Yeah, but I think what I appreciate about Purple Rain is like nobody would make that movie nowadays.
No.
Like not only just the whole melodrama thing, but no musical performer would allow themselves to look as bad as that movie makes Prince look through most of it.
Well, you wouldn't get a movie that is a promotional piece for the performer. It would be something that they're not necessarily related to.
Yeah.
Like you would put someone in an action movie and then just have their music on the soundtrack. You wouldn't get a on point. This is
This is the story of my life
Yeah,
kind of fictionalized.
you just won't get that. Yeah.
Question for you: Has anybody seen? I think it's called From Justin to Kelly.
The American Idol
Justin
movie.
Guarini, Kelly
Yeah.
Clarkson.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that any?
Why are you? Why?
It was number one or so on the bottom 100 for a while when it was the thing to do.
Right, but I mean that's obviously it is specifically promoting those two
Oh,
artists.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Artists in quotes. I guess Kelly went on to do okay
Sure.
for herself.
He went on to get a haircut.
He went on to be Little Sweet in the Diet Dr. Pepper
Oh, that's right.
commercials.
Okay, now, God, for the longest time,
That's
I'm like, who
right.
the fuck is that guy?
Yep. That's what he went on to
If
do.
nothing else, he became an exclamation for when getting waxed. Kelly
Yes,
Clarkson.
yes.
Ah, Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
But did
She.
Yes. We might consider watching that.
well what I'm trying to get at is, was that a movie in a similar vein, like maybe
No,
not
that
maybe not
was more
autobiographical, but in the like shameless self promotion
it's
sort of
yeah,
way.
closer
it's-
to anything else since, I would say.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you could remotely, like, as far as like kind of, well, if you're talking about purely in a self-indulgence kind of thing, the only thing that could probably top it is like the song Remains the Same, because that is so far up its own ass. It's like
Oh,
not
yeah.
even funny.
I mean, maybe 8 Mile.
Yeah,
Oh,
kinda.
yeah.
'Cause that is
8
kind of
Miles about as
Eminem's-
close as you're going to get to Purple Rain.
It is
Yeah,
kind of
I
his.
think
like,
I think that's probably
There you
the
go.
best
Yeah.
one.
but but that's done
The
by
angry white kid's Purple Rain is 8 Mile.
But I mean, it's directed by a real director. I mean, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a legit, actually good movie. It just
Yeah.
happens to have fucking Eminem in it.
Yeah, because
It works despite that.
Otherwise, all you get now is like Justin Bieber "Never Say Never,"
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
pretty much
concert
concert footage,
Exactly.
and glowing praise for Justin Bieber.
That was the thing I was trying to. That was the point I was trying to make, is that you just don't get that person immerses themselves in story that is almost based on their life, like 8 Mile and Purple Rain. You just don't get that. I don't know why, because people loved Purple Rain and people loved 8 Mile. I don't know why they don't think like we should do this with every artist we've got, but also there aren't artists anymore. We just don't, they just, people suddenly show up, and then when you ask who they are, they're like, they were on YouTube the last 7 years. You're like, oh, all right.
Yeah, no, all you get now is like either someone has to die or be very, very, very close to death, and you get a biopic movie about them.
Right. On Lifetime.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like Johnny Cash and
right, yeah.
James Brown, the movie, Ray Charles. I mean, they were, I think, almost all but dead when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Like they died right after or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just looking for a modern analogy to it,
No,
perhaps.
8 Mile's probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't watched Purple Rain, go watch that fucking thing. Also, we're sad.
Yeah.
Because
It's in theaters. It was in theaters last weekend, and now it's in theaters again this weekend because last weekend apparently sold out.
yeah, like was it AMC theaters was showing it, and
Now the bummer thing about that is that they're doing like it's the satellite thing, so it's not an amazing print. It's not like they suddenly like shipped prints of the movie to all the theaters around the country.
fingerprints.
So
I don't think so.
It is a satellite transmission, which is kind of a bummer. You might as well just watch the Blu-ray on your own TV. But still, you want to go to the theater and watch a Prince
you want
movie.
to watch it with people.
Yeah, have a a good time for the first 10 minutes.
35 millimeter prints.
Yes, exactly.
Very small
Yes.
print. I knew he was short, but
It's only 35 millimeters tall.
Yeah, if you're lucky, 70 millimeter.
Oh
prints.
yeah, you get fucking IMAX prints.
No, not his name's not Max. His name's Prince.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty straight guy, but I might fuck IMAX prints.
Well, that's awfully big of you.
It's kind of small.
That's kind of large.
Small of
format.
me, but I mean,
Give him the XD.
Oh,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Leave your own home.
All right.
I'm just staying out of this conversation right now.
Well, I think we're done.
Yeah.
yeah, we're done.
But yeah, Purple Rain, good time capsule. Pretty good movie
it
too.
is 80s in a movie right there. I mean, that's... If you ever like, man, I miss the 80s. I want to relive it. Just pop it Purple Rain.
Yeah, fuck you watching Kung Fury. Pop in fucking Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, all those songs were recorded live.
They
Yeah.
were multiple nights.
Yeah,
But yeah, like
just that.
the thing, the weird. Like,
That's awesome.
I've always said the weirdest thing is like the actual soundtrack album is a different set of takes.
Yeah.
Than what's in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's also I just like the Darling Nikki thing. Like, it's not only an excuse to play that song, but it's plot relevant as well, and it's malicious as shit too.
Yeah.
It's man, everybody in that movie responds so negatively to that. They're like, ugh, ugh,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Fucking
yeah,
Darling
Prince,
Nikki.
fucking
Yeah.
give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that speaker. Get it, Prince. Get it.
I don't know. I think the Beautiful One scene is even better as far as like like the scene to the movie. When she's like having dinner with Morris and that song. I was like, yeah, that's fucking good.
Yep.
And I think we said it during Graffiti Bridge, but it's like, I know Graffiti Bridge was unpleasant overall to watch. I wish that location existed to where you could just go from themed club to themed club and just see
man.
the most amazing
Sure.
show any night of the week.
That should be like the actual Universal City Walk or
Yes.
whatever thing when you go to a theme park is like, the House of Blues and Hard Rock and all that should be there so you can just go boop, 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 boop to different types of clubs. And
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm over in George Clinton's club. Let's
Yeah.
get funked up.
And like the biggest crime in Graffiti Bridge is that the fact that universe was like, yeah, no one gives a shit about this anymore. It's like, why?
No, the
Those
biggest-
clubs should be packed every night with Prince's awesomeness.
The biggest crime is that the next two albums were way better than anything on Graffiti Bridge.
Yeah, there's nothing in
It was like
Graffiti
you
Bridge
should
that's
have
any good.
You should have made a Diamonds and Pearls
Yeah.
movie or a
Yes.
whatever the hell the symbol was movie.
Yep.
Either of those albums kind of lends themselves more to it, but whatever. You guys want some not contact information? You want some communications?
Oh, I yes.
I would love some.
Emails.
emails.
as we call them in the modern day.
Cool.
First one up is from Nils. Calls us February and May. It says, "Greeting casters, this is Nils from Southern Utah. I know you don't seem overexcited at the idea of doing Animation 2.0, but I know you do like doing Blaxploitation History Month. What if I told you there was an animated Blaxploitation film? The film I speak of is 1975's Coonskin, a.k.a. Street Fight, a.k.a. Busting Out, a.k.a. Harlem Days, a.k.a. Harlem Nights. It was written and directed by Ralph Bakshi
Harlem Days.
and
Harlem
and
Nights.
can loosely be described as a blaxploitation parody of Disney's Song of the South. Plus, it's only 82 minutes long. Watch it or don't, but I thought I would offer it up as a recommendation for Animation 2.0 if you decide to go for it. Crash and burn, Nils out. You have my interest, at least.
Sure. I mean,
You're checking off a lot of boxes.
I suppose we
Nils.
probably just need to possibly think about including that in the official, or just, I don't know, we could just do this shit randomly, whatever. It's our show. We do whatever the
We
fuck
can fit it in.
You're goddamn right it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just, maybe we need to check them. We probably need to, I mean, based on the original title, we probably just need to check it over for content.
Some of that guy's stuff is rough. I mean, I know there's a level of satire to it, but we would probably need to screen it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's weird. Yeah. I mean, that guy in general, it's, you can have a movie where I like the weird Lord of the Rings thing he did, but like, if you try to watch something like fucking Wizards now, and it's like, this is weird. I am not on enough drugs to enjoy this.
And like I was talking to Mackie about the other day, I understand what these people are doing. I totally get. They're trying to gateway us into anime. I understand what these people are doing. I'm on to them.
Oh, look at you accusing our listeners.
They're all like, "Hey, this is like a thing you like, and then you can watch Akira, and then you can watch 28 episodes of Pat Labor or whatever that thing is, and just
What?
What?
I
Pat
think he's
Labor.
referring to Pat Labor.
oh, sorry,
Oh. Which one's the one
No
where
idea what that is.
where the panda runs the store? Or a polar bear runs a store or something?
Mobile Suit Gundam."
No. Evangelion.
Ranma half.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I just
Somebody we'll get like 10 emails and be like, "Oh, the one with the panda that runs the store." Oh,
Yeah.
if we
there were
fucking
45 episodes produced. It was a
anything
classic.
ends that with one of us signing up for fucking Crunchyroll, I'm like,
Nope.
no,
Nope.
I'm on to you.
I remember downloading that when like it first came on like on Xbox 360. They're like, "Oh, look at all these apps. You can stream stuff." I'm like, "Okay, Crunchyroll, what is it?" And then I opened it up and I'm like, "The fuck is this?" What? It's like, no, I don't, no. Why did you tell me this is what this was? Xbox. You just
Yeah.
said, "Hey, Crunchyroll." I'm like, that sounds cool.
It's streaming.
yeah.
Ooh.
It's streaming stuff. No,
Yeah.
it's all anime.
Seriously, like, I mean, do you want to pitch us anime things? I might watch it. I have been down the anime road, but I mean, I think
Yeah,
I've
Does that lead you to Graffiti Bridge? Or?
That's right.
it's definitely on the same. Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, that's right. It's next month. Is May.
Weird.
Yeah,
We're on Anime Road right now.
Next episode is a May episode, right?
Wow.
It sure is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I can say
What?
I am going to be watching specific anime movies for second half discussion.
Oh,
Are you really?
So you
Like-
people get some animation content.
what? Us? Are you threatening us or the listeners right now?
Both.
Okay. And what are you going to spoil any of these specific movies? Maybe you can tell us.
I will tell you. I've gotten
Okay.
some recommendations from Scott from Dallas of pairings.
I'm gonna
gonna do
you're
like-
gonna two per. You're gonna
Yeah,
do
we-
like my dance movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh snap!
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm in.
But I'm,
DDR
I'm
time.
not. I'm not going.
Double
I'm
dance
not getting
reviews.
into any like series. It's not like Evangelion
no.
where it's like, okay, watch all 45 seasons.
Well,
Robotech.
and
no,
yeah.
no, fucking Cowboy Bebop or shut your goddamn mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Cowboy Bebop's good.
yeah, or get the fuck out.
Yeah.
no.
Get your ass down anime
Cowboy
road.
Bebop is genuinely awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen enough of that to know that show is actually
So is
something that we would enjoy. Like, Chuck, you might even enjoy.
so is Outlaw Star, except for when they have their one weird random. I know it's a thing, like their spa episode where it's just like, what the fuck is this shit? It's a thing apparently that a lot of anime shows do, where there's like they call it a baths episode or something like that, where it's just like it goes fucking goofy and like none of the characters do anything they ever normally do. It's like the live show version of the American sitcom where it's like, all right, here's the live episode where it's just doesn't feel like the regular episode at all.
It's Three's Company on ice.
Right.
But yes, Harlow, I will let you know in case you're interested in following me down that terrible road.
I hope
that
Fist of the
have
North
set
Star is
myself
on there. That's all I can say.
I might join you.
Okay.
Because I've been meaning to
I don't-
rewatch that here for a long time.
I don't think that's on there, but I can do some swapperoos.
Let me help you out because I might have
Anime
seen some of these,
swapperoo.
and I can tell you whether or not you'll hate them or not. Like,
And I'm sure the listeners can help you out,
well,
too.
no, I can honestly tell you.
I'm sure the
I've
listeners
been
will help
getting-
you out whether you want it or not.
Scott from Dallas has been helping me out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will tell you right
and
now.
he said like there's some. He's like you might hate this.
For sure.
Like there's some that I said, and he's like you might hate that. I'm like okay, then maybe not.
Here's the thing. I will gladly go along with talking second half about anime if we all watch it on our own. Because, like, if I pop in one that fucking sucks, I can just speed
Yeah,
through
you
that
can-
shit.
yeah,
Just be
you
like,
can-
how does this end? All right, fuck that thing. So,
There you go.
Yeah. So
Space
there you
Dad.
go. There will be animated content in animation,
Yep.
but not a theme month. Not happening.
Nope.
We got other plans.
Can we
man.
do. We
can
have
we make them all
plans.
mad and call our second half Japanimation?
Oh yeah.
It's not Japanimation. It's anime. And actually, even anime is not correct anymore.
It's
Anime.
OVA.
Yeah.
Damn it.
What does OVA stand for?
Those are the solid rocket boosters.
Yes. Like what Chuck said.
Yep.
Original video animation.
Animation.
They're basically. It's weird. It's like if you want to make a movie, but you don't want to make it movie length. That's like there's a lot of that type of stuff.
Why
they
do
just
you-
put out? Yeah, it's
Dude.
do you call it?
Dude.
Japan's
Dude.
weird. Don't.
Don't.
You don't even want to. don't.
Trust me. No.
You don't even want to. All right. So last email we'll do tonight is from Steve, like the bird heron, who the email is titled "Deep Throat Before Homeroom."
Well, that sounds like a good high school.
Yeah.
line.
There you go.
You shouldn't watch that video.
Yeah. So he says, BMFcast.
Oh.
Steve like the bird here, do my normal squawking and such. And so, a while ago, Chuck was talking on the podcast about All the President's Men, and he wondered how teenagers today would react to it. Well, you're about to get your answers because my history class just finished watching All the President's Men.
Oh, that deep throat.
I had seen it before because, come on, guys, it's me. I wasn't the only one. There were a couple more that had seen it, but most of the class was going in blind. Early on, there was a moment in the Washington Post newsroom where my teacher went, "That's a typewriter," and the entire class just turned to her and gave her a collective stare of, "Yeah, we know what a typewriter is. We're not morons. We've seen movies. Also, you're only like 10 years older than us. You haven't earned any back-in-my-day bragging rights."
Oh,
Oh, snap.
Man, this class has
Yeah.
sass.
Threw some salt her way.
You're like fucking dangerous minds up in there.
Yeah.
We know what a typewriter is, yo.
Fuck you, Michelle
Yeah, you're like,
Pfeiffer.
if I had
we know what a fucking typewriter is.
If I had a glove, I'd take it off and slap you across the cheek with it. But anyway, he says, what I'm trying to say is they're not going to be thrown off because they pull out a phone book. Don't get me wrong, there were some confusing things during the movie, but I like to think that it's because it's a politically charged movie with a lot of names dropped and a lot going on. It could be hard for almost anyone. Also, obviously, it was a different time, so there are going to be some references that fly right over heads. Like Robert Redford has the line, "You're both paranoid. She's afraid of John Mitchell, and you're afraid of Walter Cronkite." To which John, who sits to my right, asked me, "Who's Walter Cronkite?" Says, there were some things that even got me. For example, every phone in that movie is a rotary phone. Every one. I guess I figured they had figured out buttons in the early 70s. Also, Dustin Hoffman is smoking in almost every scene in that movie, and knowing my grandparents' habits, I kind of assumed it was of the time, and then Robert Redford just goes, "Is there anywhere you don't smoke?" And that's when it hit me. Oh no, that was already starting to become weird then.
Uh-huh.
In the end, there's going to be things that they get and things that they don't get. There's always going to be at least a little bit of a generational disconnect. But for the most part, I think my class got it. But I'm not going to lie. I think a couple of them were totally lost, so maybe I'm putting too much faith in my generation. Let's just call it a mixed bag. Also, there were some snickers at every mention of Deep Throat, because how often do you hear Deep Throat in school? Also, side note on the casting of Deep Throat, and I'm going to get real theater nerdy here just for a second. Hal Holbrook, genius casting. You want a guy that I trust, that I can believe is telling the truth right away, you cast Mark Twain. CNB, Steve like the bird, sent via red flag in a potted plant.
Nice.
So yeah,
He's in an above average class.
I think so.
YouTube reaction videos have taught me that today's children would look at that movie and just go, "I don't understand any of this. They're all aliens."
What is a newspaper?
Yeah. It's newspapers and rotary phones and walking everywhere.
Walking everywhere.
Well, you know.
I need all the president's men to carry me over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's aged better than Network.
It has, because television is still a thing and newspapers aren't. So it's almost like
It feels like a time capsule.
you can look at the newspaper thing and be like, oh, that's weird. That's how things were in the past. And you look at the network and you're like, well, television was like that. That's dumb. That doesn't make sense. People gave a shit about news.
Yeah, everyone watched the same channel?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 3 channels. And they went off the air at midnight.
Yeah.
Man, channels going off the air.
Yeah. That's why
That
every
would be
time I
so
fire up
weird.
Poltergeist, I'm like, man, no one understands why this is happening. Like the thing going to snow. Why would that happen? Why would it play the national anthem and then go to snow?
Yeah, try seeing BBC do that.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen that?
Yes.
That well, I mean, they play God Save the Queen, but
Yeah.
then it goes to that weird girl with the clown picture. You can look it up. It's
Yeah.
the BBC test pattern.
Yep.
That I used to go to at night. It was
It's-
I
yeah.
naturally saw this happen, not knowing that was going to happen. I was like, what? And I was like expecting it to be a slideshow, and I'm like, as it just sat there, I was like, the fuck
Yeah.
is this?
Yep.
And why is it still up? You know.
Yep.
That is a weird test pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy. Like your TV is going to eat you. The first time I stayed up late enough for a TV station to go off the air, it just like really weirded me out. I was like,
Like, what's wrong?
why are they playing the national anthem?
Yeah. Why are they saying goodbye? Keep doing your job, TV
Well,
station.
I remember in the early 80s, Nickelodeon, like after Danger Mouse, at 8 o'clock, Danger Mouse would end and it would become A&E Network.
Yeah.
It would become
Oh,
a
that's right. Yeah, they
completely
just-
different
yeah, they flip
network
over.
after
Yeah.
a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And that was like the weirdest thing, too. It was like, what?
And it,
Usually mid-show or something too. It was like because
Yeah.
it's almost sort of like it was like on like a time delay or something too. Like if you flipped over to the actual channel, it was like not at the
that's
same
weird.
point.
I remember it always weirded me out when it flipped over. It would flip over to Nick at Night, and
Right.
I'd be like watching these crazy cartoons, and then like Dragnet, and I'm like,
Yeah, see, you are of a different era.
slightly, yeah.
We did not have Nick at Night. We had blank air, so put on A&E in its place.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would they not show cartoon? Were there not stoned adults in the early 90s,
No.
late 80s?
No.
They couldn't
Yeah, I was
afford
gonna say-
cable.
I was gonna
in
say
the early
80s, man. It was cocaine. They didn't need cartoons.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, how
need to
long ago this
dance.
was? We actually had a push button thing on the top of the TV.
Man, you're so old.
Our first cable box had a box on top of it that had 3 buttons and a selector switch that allowed each of the 3 buttons to act as 6 buttons. So we had like MTV, the movie channel, and Nickelodeon. And if you paid for the other package, you got 3 other cable channels. It was real dumb.
Yeah,
Cable.
man, the old days.
Cable is almost a thing where kids are going to be like, what's that? You have a thing coming into your house providing you with
kinda.
television. You have to watch it at the time it's on. Nah.
Well, I'm sure.
Appointment television is.
I'm
It still exists.
It does, but
a little bit.
I'm
but-
sure there will be a point where where kids will reach the age that they just can't comprehend that there was no internet.
Yeah. We're almost there.
And when you need to research, you went to the library and had to look up a book that would let you
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fuck the
and like
fucking
if you
library.
and
Yeah.
if you didn't know who did a song and they didn't tell you on the radio, you just had to wait until
Wait,
you
or
heard that
call the
song
radio
again.
station.
Or you
Yeah.
talk to your friends like a dumbass, like, "Hey, have you heard that one where it's like, no, yeah," and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's
that one where they do like that, hey,
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
I've never heard that."
No, I can't help
What's
you.
that- what's that
I don't know what that is.
Like I don't
hated
even
going
know
to the
why do
library.
bars still do trivia. Why do bars do trivia?
Because we
there are people-
hope that our people are honest.
There are
Yeah.
there are people still in this world who have enough integrity and respect for the institution that is trivia to not pull out their phones and look it up immediately.
But you know what the problem with that is?
there are only like 30 of them per city, and they're all fucking super trivia nerds, and they know everything. But
problem with that is that you can have 9/10 of a bar filled with those people with integrity, and then you've got the one group of assholes who are like, "Fuck it, I'm using my phone."
it's the
And
job of the
ruined.
person that is running it to walk around and make sure that's not happening,
I
and
agree.
also know the teams. Like usually the same people show up week after week to do pub trivia, so it's like.
Yep.
They get to know, like, when you take your answers up and be like, who are you and why are you in first place?
Yeah.
Like, you've never played here before.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch your table like a hawk.
yeah, a friend of mine does the even like weirder that it actually works version of that, which is every Tuesday he does a trivia thing on Facebook. He just posts 4 trivia questions, usually themed, It's like it's all on the honor system, and it works.
I was always amazed, like,
It's so weird that it works, but it's all people that are,
well,
that are of that
Yeah.
generation of honesty and
But
integrity.
I was always
not
amazed
those youngsters who are all shit.
when my kids were finishing high school. They would like come down and ask me, like, what, do you know the answer to this? And I'm like, fucking Google that. No one's gonna know that you went on the internet. Like, if I had Google in high school, I
my
would have
God.
fucking been the best student ever.
There's a weird disconnect with me where we are really fucking rambling, aren't we? There's a weird disconnect with me where I'm like, man, I wish I could have gone to just high school when there was fucking like real internet.
Yes,
Just
Same.
high school. I mean, I don't care about the shit before that. I'm saying, like, if I'd gone to high school when there's internet, and then there's a part of me, I'm like, I'd be a fucking dumbass. I'm not trying to be like, oh, millennials are dumb or whatever, but I'm like, I wouldn't retain fucking anything.
Yeah.
I mean, my brain was brought up to fucking remember shit. And, like, it's in there because, like, if you didn't remember it from the time you read it in your test, it was, it was gone, like, there's no fucking recall whatsoever. I'm not, like I said, I'm not, like, trying to make, like, oh, kids are dumb, but I personally feel like I would be dumb if I wasn't forced to remember
It's
all
made
this
us feel like we don't have to remember it.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
we can just look it back up.
because we know it's safe
Yeah.
somewhere.
The really weird thing for me is the people who are just like 10 to 15 years older than me that yeah, I know. but you're not going to be included in this group.
Okay, great.
But the people who are in that like 10 to 15 years older than me range that just will absolutely positively have fucking nothing to do with it
Oh, right.
and are like ask
Just
me a
old enough
question.
to be like, fuck computers, fuck everything.
They're not even that old.
Yeah.
They're just in that mindset somehow. Like they grew up just outside of it, and it happens to me at work all the time. But somebody will be like, hey, what's the thing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll Google that for you.
Yeah.
Hang on.
There's a certain age limit, and it continues to get older and older, where you can't say, oh, I'm just not good with computers.
Yeah.
Like that does not fly anymore. Like you can't.
You have to
say
be
that.
like
you have to be fucking
70 and
retired
older.
at this point. Yeah.
Yep.
To be able to
like
say, well,
that.
I'm just not good with computers. It's like you have to be.
Computers.
It doesn't matter what
you
job
don't have
you do.
to be good with computers.
If you work
they are good
indoors-
enough that you can
Yeah.
just use them.
Yeah.
If you work indoors, you work on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't care what job it is,
Yeah.
unless it's like custodial. That's about it.
And still, I guarantee you're putting something into a computer.
Yeah.
Inventory.
My dad
something.
can't work Siri. I'm like, you can't talk to a thing and use real fucking language. He complains that Siri. I'm like, I know you can't type or anything, but just fucking say something. Like, like, and don't talk like an idiot, because he can speak a complete sentence, but the second he hits the fucking button, it's like, look, thing, fine, go. I'm like, you pause between words, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna say. Like, how can you not fucking with your voice search for something?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Right.
I don't know. I just like I said, it's like it's an age thing where it's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
We've determined that we are all the exact right age. That is what
Sure.
this talk has taught us, is that
Great.
we are all
Right.
exactly right.
Since we're just in this realm now, like
Sure.
I went to a Pearl Jam concert. That's why we didn't do Wednesday. I think it was last week.
Uh-huh.
Man, I felt so in my element because I wasn't like the old guy at the concert. Everyone there was my age.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I'll tell you the one
It
that-
was really, really, really weird being at a concert just with everyone my age and like 10 people younger than me, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was weird but awesome. Yeah. And I understand why things like, hey, the Rolling Stones are back together and they're still touring. Why people do that is because they're just there to be with all these old people their age that are like, yeah, the Stones, man. Like, I disdained it for so long, being like, why they just trot these fossils out on stage? The fuck? Who would go pay $200 to see that? And then you realize, no, you're going there to be with people like you who know all the words to all the songs and still think they're awesome.
Yeah.
yeah. The most bizarre one I ever did was I skipped school. I skipped work one day and went and saw Weezer at a college.
Yeah. I should have done that.
At a college, and so I'll be generous.
Old?
I'll be generous and say I'm 10, 15 years older than the oldest person there besides me. And I'm like, this isn't fucking fair because this is my fucking band.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Weezer like still plays high school music to this day, even though they're like 50. But I'm still like the way the looks and shit I'm getting. I'm like, fuck you guys. Like this is my shit. Like
Right.
Like you guys you guys are literally in my house right now and looking at me like I don't belong here. I'm like, fuck right off. I mean, I know their music is like changed and it stays the same, so it's kind of timeless. But I'm like, don't look at me like this. Like,
I was there when the Blue album came out.
I'm like, I heard Undone on the fucking radio and didn't know who it was and went, what the fuck is this song? I was that guy.
Yeah. So, in summary,
Get the fuck off of our lawns!
it sucks to get old.
Sure.
It really does.
That's the moral of this story.
It is. Thanks, Steve, for
What
bringing
the
it up.
fuck,
So, yeah.
Todd? Bro, because we were talking about
So
goddamn
that's all the President's Men.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah.
That's our take on All the President's Men.
Absolutely.
Holy
The hottest
shit.
it takes.
Yeah.
What the fuck did we get down that rabbit hole? Oh my
Who
gosh.
cares? It's.
Yeah. Had to fill time somehow.
Didn't you enjoy talking about that more than about what we did in the first?
Yeah, it was kind of
So there you
it was
go.
kind of cleansing. The Get
There
Off
you
My
go.
Lawn segment was much more cleansing than Dangerous Men.
There you go.
Hey, what? Hey.
We love the old man alarm.
Thanks.
The lesson is
Yeah.
old people are shit,
Yep.
and young
Yeah.
people are shit,
Yeah.
and we're great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is people equal shit.
But
No, we're great.
for like people who know how to use electronic devices, how would they find us on the internet?
Oh, you go.
They would
to
ask their grandchildren.
You go to the Lycos web crawler.
Lycos.
Just go to ask.com.
Yeah, ask Jeeves.
You go for
Dogpile.
You go for Dogpile over to FTP/:.
Oh, you-
We're on
BMFcast.
alt.
You got gophers.
We're alt.binary.podcast.movies.
No, you don't want to go to the
dot
binary.
Wesley Crusher.
I don't know.
dot die,
I never
die,
used Usenet.
Dot BMFcast.
Yeah. Well, some of us grew up on Usenet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Grandpa
Some of us
Internet.
had to piece the internet together piece by piece.
That was the original dark web.
We had to staple the internet together ourselves.
You wanted
We
to read
mailed
your movie-
postcards to each other. That was our internet, and we liked it.
He's talking about Star Trek. It's great. So good.
Oh,
But if
My IP address was the same as my street address.
One.
if people want to join our web ring, how would they?
Go to www.bmfcast.com or just send us a plain old traditional email. To the mailing address, bmf@bmfcast.com.
I love the emails now, the traditional emailing.
It's the real way of communicating on the
actual
internet.
post with a stamp on it. Oh, that old
It's
email.
not a Snapchat. It's not a Grinder or a Snapchat or a Kick. It's a real mail, a real communication
Real
over
honest
the
to God,
internet.
man.
sign our guest book while you're there.
Yeah. Watch the counter go up with every visit.
The internet's such shit.
Pardon our dust. It's still under construction, as this animated GIF will tell you.
Oh, the GIF? Yeah, the animated GIF.
It was GIF back in our day, and we liked it.
We accepted that it was a gift.
We decided what it was called.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can also give us a call on the Garfield phone, BMFcast hotline 9105-JOCKS-BMF, or
910-556-9263.
Yeah.
Dial your operator.
Yeah, you want to go out 10, 10, 3, 2, 1, and then...
dial down the center. Yeah.
Yes.
1-800-COLLECT commercials are great.
They are,
by the
aren't
way.
they?
And they're all over Monday Nitro.
Yeah, they are. I'm glad they kept those on the network.
Yeah.
Man. Well,
Well, mention the Patreon.
Patreon.com/BMFcast.
What is
That
it?
is a newfangled way of putting money directly into our pockets via the internet.
It is a 21st century idea.
And the new bonus podcast should be up.
probably tomorrow. No, I'm sorry. Oh,
Old man voice makes me cough.
just started all over there.
But yeah, bonus podcast should be up this week.
Yeah. It should be up hopefully by the time you're listening to this.
Good.
If you are a patron, that is.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
it costs you is $1.
Freeloaders ain't getting it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just saying, you might be listening to this, but you might not be listening to that.
Oh. Whoa.
That's deep,
I
man.
mean, you can.
blew my mind.
You can.
Cool.
All right, well, let's get out of here. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. Motherfuckers.
Get off our lawn.
Woo!
Yeah.
More Prospector voice. He's the best.
That's the way it was, and we liked it.
Back in my day, when men were men and women were made out of sticks.
We used to have to strap two of our dead friends to our legs and make skis.
I just realized this is about as full a week as people are going to get. They get a no quarters, they're going to get a BMFcast, and they're going to get bonus BS.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should just record an NPOC for the hell of it.
Sure.
Oh, God.
That out
Why
there
not?
on No feed.
Do we even have the...
No, it's just gone.
Oh, man.
domain.
I mean, we have the
Okay.
files and stuff. They exist. So if anyone actually really wants to hear them, we can provide them.
If you really want to hear us talk about 2 WrestleManias.
Hey, we talked about 24.
We did talk about 24
Board
twice,
Yeah.
and some board games and Star Trek.
Talked about...
We didn't talk about Star Trek.
Sorkin.
We did a whole Star Trek
We
episode.
talked about Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, we did an Aaron Sorkin episode. That's right. Yeah,
It was a very eclectic
we had a sit and
podcast.
chat,
Uh-huh.
a walk and talk, a sit and chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doctor Who episode.
Who?
Who? What? All right,
Well,
shutting it down
let's
now.
get out of
All
here,
right,
shall
good
we?
night.
It's way past your bedtime.
And don't forget, go see Dangerous Men, because I say it's Chuck Fine.
And we say Chuck is
the only
lost his
dangerous men
mind.
they need to see are us.
Right. Right here on the box, it says 1 Jocks.
Is it raining?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Is that rain?
Hey Siri.
Siri!
Is that rain?
Siri.
Is there be rain there?
Rain is that?